12 rounds, ding ding. Sick and tired of the whole damn thing, yeah. Stick a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. Be lucky if I stick around. Maybe foolish, but I ain't a clown. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, 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 no. Got the belt like a king. Heavyweight champion of the whole damn thing, yo. Full of gas, full of spin. Jekyll and Hyde, you're the evil twin. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, you're never gonna. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down.
Enjoy that, Leon?
Well, the bit outside the chorus was good.
You don't like the chorus?
The chorus is just amazing. Nothing can compare to it.
Agreed.
Oh, we're live already, are we?
Yeah. I feel like we should be. There's 10 minutes to go. Good to see you again, Leon. How was your sleep?
Not enough as usual.
Yeah.
Standard.
I'm feeling Tom Taylor's pain now. He always has to wake up in Canada for morning shows for One Championship, and this is tough.
Yeah, but he's all right when it comes to UFC. Although he does like to complain about the late finishes. Then, like I've told him, I think once or twice, nothing compares to being a UFC fan in Europe. Staying all night every weekend, nothing compares to that. Compared to that, we're all lucky.
Yeah, I used to do a few of those myself.
And we've got to do one this weekend for the Darren Till card. Not Darren, obviously he's off the card now. Vittori versus Kevin Holland. That's an all-nighter, which is a nightmare. But luckily, it's
what time does that start?
Midnight our time. I think it's the first fight.
Are you kidding me?
So that's a nightmare.
So Sasha is walking out at 12.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So that's a pain.
So they've even kept it to the same time, even though Till's off the card.
Yeah. I don't know if that was 100% reason.
Lighty's in the house. What's up, Lighty?
Good morning.
Is this Rook's translator?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a good dude. Lighty says, good luck, Rook. Yes, Rook is the first fight up. We are here for the One Championship. One on TNT. It's the live fight companion. We're going to be getting things going in a little bit. Chris will be joining us soon. Good morning or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Lighty saying hi, guys. A good dude, isn't he? He translated my first interview with Rook. Very nice man.
Yeah, he saved the day.
Saved the day. Indeed. Well, here we are, everyone. Give us your predictions for one on TNT 1. First fight up, Rook against Mr. Schmidt now, I believe it is. A late notice fight after Mehdi Bargi was pulled from the card because of health and safety protocols. Who did you go for again? I think you went for Rook, didn't you, Leon?
Rook, yeah.
All of Africa is behind the king, says Lighty. I can't deny.
We think the king's got this one in the bag.
We think so. I think we all picked Umar Kane for this fight. Should be getting underway in 4 minutes, the card. Just a reminder.
Should we quickly address the change of fight order on the main card?
Yes, sure. Why don't you take it away, Leon?
I like to think you guys. I was just going to bed last night when I saw one tweet saying Rodtang's going to fight last, although DJ versus Moraes is still the main event. So I guess from reading our group messages this morning, it was because Brian Campbell said DJ was fighting too late. So they brought him forward one fight.
I asked about it, and apparently they said that was the plan all along. But then I thought, well, why did you market all these posters with DJ as the top fight? And it says main event, but then if you look at it, it doesn't specifically say bout 1, bout 2, bout 3, bout 4, 5, 6.
Also, when they tweeted it a few times last night our time here in Asia, it said change of order.
Yes, it did say change of order.
And I can sort of see why you want DJ, want the fans to watch it. But one is, I don't think it's that late, is it? It's going to be
at midnight, maybe.
No, it's going to be 11 o'clock Eastern time. I know it's a school night, but that's not that late, is it? Considering they have to stay up till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning for UFC events because of the 3-hour time difference from the West Coast.
I think you just want to capitalize on, because they're going to have that lead in from AEW, right? And Mike Tyson is on this episode, so I think they're expecting a lot of eyes from casual fans, and they want to start with a bang. So
why not go? I would have gone Eddie, Rodtang, DJ, Moraes, because
maybe
they've really tried to plug Rodtang, because I think they feel, like I've said all along, Rodtang really has this ability to win over MMA fans and maybe switch him over to Muay Thai, to the One Super Series. They've really beat him up. Chatri has talked about him a lot. Michael Scavello's talked about him a lot. But now what we might find is people are going to watch the Eddie fight, the DJ fight, and then turn the TV off and go to bed. They might not watch Rodtang, who they've been building up with the US fan. It just doesn't seem to make sense from that point of view. Just for an extra, I mean, that's a 3-round Muay Thai fight. It's 9 minutes. Is that really? I think a fan's really going to not want to stay up for an extra 15 minutes to watch DJ?
But if you people stay up and watch Rodtang, that's good. That's a bonus, right? But they want to showcase Eddie and DJ.
Of course,
I completely understand why they're going first.
Surely people would stay up an extra 15 minutes to watch DJ versus Moraes. That's all it is. It's 3 rounds of Muay Thai. That's 9 minutes.
Brian Campbell, Leon, has got. Is that Brian?
I mean, is this literally because he said something? I mean, I don't know. Really
I watched the segment last night. He wasn't very nice about one.
Wow.
Did you see him call Pitbull Emmanuel live to his face after the Bellator show?
No.
It was quite funny. He was interviewing Pitbull after their fight, after he beat Emmanuel Sanchez, and then he said, "So Emmanuel," and Pitbull had the face of a ghost. Oh, he's like, "Fuck this guy." But I like Brian.
I don't really know a lot about him. I know he criticized Ryzen, didn't it? Was it Ryzen a couple of months ago?
Yeah, here he is.
Morning.
He's here.
How are you,
and
boys?
Whitelaw. Good to see you.
How's it going? Good to see you.
Tired.
It's been a while. Yeah,
Yes,
it's an early start. Feels special.
Yeah. This is what Tom Taylor does every week then.
Wow. To be in Tom Taylor's shoes.
We're lucky to be in Tom's shoes.
Yeah, that is special. How's everyone doing?
That's the overwhelming feeling, man. I'm tired. But
it should be a good one.
I like early mornings and that, but I mean, I get up early anyway. But it just, for me personally, it's just been the last 2 hours. It's been a crazy rush to get everything I need to do. Like mornings that when you wake up, when you cover MMA and you live in Asia, when you wake up, you've got the whole previous day's news to catch up on in North America. So you've got that to do. You've got so it's been a bit of a crazy morning, but I like it. When I cover UFC events in Australia, their events they start in the morning. They're all day. When you're covering it, I prefer that in a way. It's nice to cover it in the daytime.
How lucky are we? I mean, it's funny, isn't it? We're all English. It's a very English flavour today to the podcast. But I've never watched UFC in England. Have you, boys? Because it'd be a nightmare. It'd be a nightmare living in England trying to cover the UFC.
Well, we just said this to Nick. I said, we all complain. Like we've got to stay up all night this weekend for the UFC for UFC Vegas 23. But if you're in Europe, you're doing that pretty much every week, doing an all-nighter if you're a real fan, or if you cover MMA in Europe, anywhere in Europe. I mean, it's a nightmare. I mean, I hate doing. I'm going to hate doing it this weekend. But the only positive is it's only every now and then for us.
We're getting some Rug love, aren't we? Early doors.
We've got his translator in the house.
Oh, awesome.
Lady.
What's up, Lady? How are you, sir? Thanks for the translations.
Very good. Leon's right. Eddie's already an established name. Says Ghost Phantom 98. Rodtang was fighting between DJ and Eddie. A lot of eyes would have been there. Yes. What do you think, Andrew, about the Rodtang going on last? Controversy?
I sincerely hope that the casual fan doesn't decide to dip out before the main event, because Rodtang is a superstar. I think we all know that. And even if you're the most casual combat sports fan, even if you've never watched any Muay Thai, if you watch a Rodtang fight, for all the reasons that, you know, like in the early days of people getting into MMA who complain about fighters who wrestle too much and they just want to see striking. Rodtang's the embodiment of that, like head, body, like that hook, and he's fireworks from start to finish. So I really hope that the casual fan gets to know who the hell Rodtang is. They might even name a cat after him. You know, he's so lovable. He's
I actually named my cat Rodtang. I fostered a kitten last summer, and one of them was called Rodtang. So
that was a reference. That was.
Oh, there you go. You remember?
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
shit.
But that's how cool he is. You know, he makes you want to name sentient beings after him. He's the man, dude. How can you not love him?
That was too smart for me in the morning, Andrew. Went right over my head, that.
But yeah, so how many people are going to discover the beauty of Rodtang today? That's exciting for me, because Muay Thai, upsettingly, as most beautiful sport that it is, I mean, how many people really, man on the street, if you're in Wisconsin, name me a Muay Thai fighter? I don't think many could, you know? So it's time we had some household names across the universe, like outside of Thailand, outside of, you know, there are some pockets in Europe that love the sport, and you know, in England, you've got people like Haggerty, right? You've got Liam Harrison, but globally, there's Lion Fight does all right in the US, but it's not as big as it should be. Do we agree on that?
Yeah, I think I keep going on about one super series is doing its part for Muay Thai and kickboxing. And like I was saying, 4 years ago, I'd never heard of Rodtang, Sam A, Nongo, all these guys. Now I'm huge fans of theirs, and it's because of the one super series. And I hope this, especially now on TNT, it does broaden it to globally. You've got, like I said, Rodtang, like exactly what Andrew just said, has that appeal for MMA fans. He's for all these MMA fans that hate when a fight goes down to the ground. Rodtang is just your perfect fighter.
Yeah.
And then you've got as well, though, you've got Janet Todd and Jackie Bunting fighting at Boxing Works in the US. They could have two champions, one championship champions in the US. Maybe three if Janet wins. She's got a reasonable chance of winning the Muay Thai strap as well. So, yeah, like Andrew said, hopefully we can see Muay Thai grow in the US like it's starting to grow in other parts of the world.
But like I said about that strategy about having Rodtang on last, the romantic in me likes to think that this is the day that the casual fan discovers the beauty of Rodtang. But is the reality that fans might dip out before the main event? I mean, some will, but some won't. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, before you come on, I'd have had Rodtang in the middle, put Eddie on, then Rodtang, and then Moraes versus DJ. That'd be perfect. Yeah. And like I said as well, it's a Muay Thai fight. It's 3 times 3 minutes. People aren't going to have to start 3 hours to watch the DJ. It's 15, 20 minutes. It wouldn't make that much difference.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that. I think that would have been sensible, you know.
Crazy.
One need to get you on the payroll.
If it's because of one human being that doesn't even like one championship, that's crazy as well. One individual who's who's almost, well, not almost made a name, but has grown a reputation for just slating Asian MMA in recent months.
Sorry, fill me in. What?
I'm just going by our group chat. Brian Campbell.
Yeah, so what's he got to do with anything?
Apparently he said DJ's fighting too late for the US fans, even though he's scheduled to go on about 11 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. in the West, on the West Coast.
Oh, what? So we think that he had an influence?
Well, apparently he was complaining about DJ fighting too late yesterday. Is that right? Is that right, Nicholas?
Hey again, man. I was just typing something out.
Brian Campbell, he was complaining that DJ's fighting too late for US fans.
Yeah,
even though he's only fighting at 11. I know it's a school night, but it's 11 p.m.
Didn't that guy forfeit his right to talk about anything Asian MMA related when he spoke about Ryzen?
Well, that's what I said, but I guess not. Doesn't he work with Luke Thomas? Probably the most unpopular.
That was the podcast they were talking on.
Yeah, they're not the most popular. They're not the most popular pair in MMA.
I
rate
them.
Luke Thomas. Luke
he's
Thomas.
very knowledgeable.
He is, but he's very condescending, and he's.
I think they come off a little snobbish sometimes, but.
And yeah, he's not a people's. He's not the people's champion of media reporters.
Yeah, I would say that he probably owns that quite well. Yeah, I do think he's probably a little bit condescending. But to be honest with you, there are a lot of idiots on particularly MMA Twitter. I mean,
he gets a lot of criticism though for some of the things he says. Like some fighters are like, "Luke, you've never fought. You don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah,
I know he's got very good inside knowledge for someone who hasn't fought at. Well, I don't think at any level, but like. Maybe ask Cub Swanson what he thinks about him.
Oh, wow. Okay. Fair enough.
Well, no, I don't think Cub Swanson said anything personally, but he said recently, didn't he? Every MMA reporter should have 3 fights.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I disagree with.
I'll tell you what.
It was a great comment.
I watched Kingdom recently. Cub Swanson had a cameo in that as an MMA fighter. You should be, if you enjoy an MMA sort of drama series with Frank Grillo, it was awesome. Quite gritty. Southern, like Venice Beach, sort of loads of I think Juan Archuleta plays one of the trainers. There's loads of little cameos from people. Dan Mugliata, I think, is in it. Wait, who's the referee with the massive beard?
Oh, Mike Beltran.
Mike Beltran,
yeah. He plays one of the referees. It's a good series. Check it out. No, people aren't as locked down as they used to be. Maybe they're not as much on the hunt for stuff to watch anymore. Well, if you're going to watch anything, watch this podcast, obviously.
Oh, big tune.
Mr. Edwards Bailey is excited for Rug. Rug is gonna smash it, obviously, is he not?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's some comments here, aren't there? All right, let me get into that. IT says, hi, Peter. Don't know who Peter is.
Hi, Peter. Who's Peter?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are, Peter.
Are they going on right now? Yes, their walkouts are happening now. The people's champ in the media for me is Drake Riggs. No offense, Leon, says Ghost Phantom. How can you compete with Big Rig? Rug. Entering the cage. Exactly. Let's do this.
Wait, what are you guys doing? You're watching on a separate window, right?
Yeah, I've just dragged over a browser to.
Okay.
I don't know you do any of that. Anything technical just gets me confused. I'm watching it on my TV behind my laptop on mute, which is annoying not to have any volume, but.
Oh, lovely. Hey, did Ben Askren give you any good stock tips when you interviewed him, by the way, that time?
I can't remember. I don't think we asked him.
They're probably expired now, even if he did.
Yeah. I think John's got him again.
I've just ventured into the world of Bitcoin, of cryptocurrency.
Good times, mate. You're going to make some money, probably.
Probably. Hopefully.
What, John's speaking to Askren?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's in the works. But...
Cool. Good. He's always good times, isn't he? He's always a solid interview.
Indeed.
He's brilliant. He's just brilliant entertainment value.
I caught the end of a show you guys did the other day. It was actually very enjoyable. You guys were talking about some of your best interviews. It was really good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I can't remember what we said.
Kevin Hollander is an interesting one.
Oh, yeah.
Like always interesting answers, but I found quite short answers. But he keeps you on your toes. Like he just says something completely left field, and you've got to be straight ready to respond.
He talks at least.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we talking about? Our best interview is clearly Rug. He's the man.
That'll keep you on your toes, man. Like, Letty, big up yourself. That without Letty, we'd be in a bit of trouble there, I think. Hey, how big of a star is Rug? Because I think he's got that X factor maybe, because people seem to just love him. And when you saw how many views that interview you did with him and Alan, I think he's got something else about him, and he's got that unbelievable self-belief. He just doesn't seem to care who's in front of him. He's just the Hulk, isn't he? He's just going to smash.
Smash.
But yeah, I mean, he's huge back in Senegal, isn't he? He's massive, and then he's coming for.
That's what I'm led to believe.
What does he have for breakfast? I haven't had any. I'm drinking celery juice. What did Rug have today? I need some tips here. Letty, let us know.
How do we before you fight?
Probably a vegan breakfast for a body like that, I would think.
I did a piece with Gary Tonin where we just sat at a buffet and watched Gary eat loads of pasta and just had a chat with him about what to eat before a fight. It was really nice access to have that. Usually you can't go near a fighter that near a fight, but he was so chilled out and so confident about winning that we kind of just followed him around the buffet.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. He's a good guy to chat to, because he just every answer is a story, basically.
Yeah.
What's his brand called? Like cash, checks, and something else. Do you know what I mean?
His brand?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure.
He's got a brand. Yeah.
I don't know, actually.
Not sure.
Chicks, books, and heel hooks or something. I don't know.
Oh, maybe that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's quite entertaining on social media.
Yeah, very. Yeah. Now that Gordon Ryan's come. Oh, here we go. Honestly, how long does this last? I just feel that Rug is going to smoke him.
The thing is, though, Schmidt, the big Swiss, is going to have a big advantage on the feet if he can keep the fight on the feet.
How long can he?
He's tall.
The Senegalese wrestling champion.
About 15 seconds for a takedown and some ground and pound. The countdown is on. Oh, nice leg kick. I guess we want to see a little bit of Rug cage time as well, like just to find out more about what he's made of. He's still so young in his MMA career, isn't he? Oh,
third fight, right?
Dude!
This isn't going to last long.
Oh,
maybe the big Swiss doesn't have the advantage on the feet.
Mate, he's just so powerful. Oh, here's the ground and pound. Didn't I say we've got about 15 seconds? Wasn't too far off.
Man, I can't believe that. You'd have thought the big Swiss would have the advantage on the feet. Coming from a striker.
Getting to the north-south.
I've just gone 3:30. What time have you got? Are you ahead of me?
3:20. Bit of ground and pound here. I think he's going to stop it.
It's over. It is over. That went.
It's over. Rug wins. 3:10.
Superb.
3:10 first round. Left on the clock.
I can't
believe
believe
that.
I didn't. I knew Rug. Well, I didn't know. I was confident Rug would win, but I thought he would have to get the fight down to the ground, fighting a striker. Yeah, he did, but after causing huge damage on the feet.
It almost was reminiscent of Francis in that sense of when he just touches you. Once the chin gets touched, he looked a bit wobbled, didn't he, Schmidt, from the get-go? As soon as he got touched, it was a bit like, whoa! He's got that power.
I mean,
that's a highlight reel.
That is huge to beat a striker who was preparing for one Super Series bout, and to get the job done effectively on the feet. Really, didn't he? The job was done on the feet. Once he got down to the ground, it was just the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, those shots are so damaging.
And
really clean, really accurate.
Yeah, accurate. Oh, that I'm so impressed with that, with his performance on the feet.
It's very effective MMA striking, and as a heavyweight, when he touches you, he's so dangerous. Now I think it's almost like in football, isn't it? When you get a young player coming through to the first team, you get really excited about him, saying, "Oh, he's going to play for Real Madrid." But Rugrug, after 3 professional fights, is ready to take on any and all comers, isn't he?
Big time. I mean, I know people are going to say, but he's fought Schmidt, who's never fought in MMA before, and he was preparing for what was it? I think kickboxing matchup. But he beat him at his own strength.
Yeah, very impressive.
Well, Bukar is very happy in the chat. I don't blame you, Bukar Dione.
My brother Rugrug.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is awesome. I really want to see this highlight reel kind of maximized. Rugrug is a star, and I think one needs to really capitalize on that. He's huge.
Are we going to get an interview in the ring, please?
Yeah, where's Letty?
Letty, get in the cage and translate.
And how happy are you with that, Letty? Did you predict that exactly as it went? That's exactly how I saw it happening, to be honest. But I still loved it. I'm in no way disappointed that was predictable. That was epic.
Did you think he'd beat him up on the feet? Because I really didn't.
I just thought he'd overpower him.
I just thought, I thought he'd overpower him, get him to the ground, and then it was going to be really tough for the big Swiss.
I'm just going to listen to this.
Can we listen to this?
Yeah, sure. It'll be fun, isn't it? I like his hoodies. I want one.
Yeah.
He's going to say anyone.
Not much there.
Okay, I've got to say, guys, I'm a bit annoyed about that. That's a pet peeve of mine when fighters have their moment, they do something amazing, and then they don't capitalize in the ring. They've got that spotlight. The world's watching. We want to hear who are you going to call out after a sick performance? Give us a name. Like, are you with me there? Give us a name.
Maybe.
I kind of agree. I think with him, he wants to smash through everyone. So he doesn't care who he fights next. He's just going to keep smashing people until he's won the title. I think that's his mentality. What did he say? I missed that. I was just quickly posting.
He said, "I want all the heavyweights."
Yeah. Nothing spectacular.
Look, I'm with you. When you're smashing people like he is, I think he's got buzz around him no matter what he does. But sometimes just like the fight game is also about selling fights, right? It's about getting people behind it. And if he were to call out the number 2 guy, or even Vera, and really sell it. I want you, Vera. People would get behind it, and that would sell the fight. And I want the winner of Bular versus Vera. Just give us that soundbite, and then they can play it, they can hype it, they can sell it.
Yeah, I kind of
You're
agree.
not
I think
wrong.
with everyone's different though, and I don't think you should be outside of yourself if that's not you to just go after people and name people. I know what you mean. Like that's you're coming from the Shell Sonnen school of
Shale.
If you're in that situation, make the most of it. And you are right, but some people just and like for him, his equivalent to that is just saying, "I want everyone, line them up," which is almost as good because that's still a bit of a promo when you fight for next time. Line them up, bring them on.
Okay. No, you've got to be respectful. Like if it's not in your nature, I don't want people to trash talk unnecessarily. And I don't think it's necessarily trash talk either to call out who you want, is it? But I know someone comes to mind. Michael Chandler. Okay, you could say it was a bit cheesy, but he rehearsed the Ric Flair line and he delivered it. And look, now he's fighting for the lightweight title in the UFC. I do think there are certain moments, and if you take those chances, look at Nate Diaz. Conor McGregor, you're taking everything I work for. Remember that? That was classic.
It does help, but Rugrug's is such
yeah.
a nice dude. I don't know if he's
That's what I mean.
in his nature.
Hey,
Say
hello,
hello.
little cutie.
Say hello. What's your prediction? Demetrious Johnson, is he going to win? Is he going to win?
It's a Moraes fan there.
Yeah, we've got a yes for DJ. I'll see you later. Cameo.
Some wholesome content there.
He's wondering what is going on. Like, what are you doing talking to these strange dudes?
So early in the morning.
That was a really fun way to kick off the show, huh?
It was, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder how many people are going to watch the lead card, because obviously the idea of the TNT thing is for people to watch is it AEW wrestling there, and then to follow it into the main card in an hour.
Yeah.
But hopefully the MMA fans in the US are watching this, because what a perfect start to a card.
It's on
Yuya
Bleacher, right?
Wakamatsu did a really respectful call out to Reeks McLaren. Remind me, guys. I think I recall that it was quite respectful, wasn't it? What did he say again?
I can't remember, but I find it quite funny when it's a respectful call out. I don't know why. It just tickles me. It's like, if you don't mind, I mean, all respect. I'm a big fan of yours, Big Mara. If you'd like to step in the octagon with me, I'll be okay.
I will take your head off.
Yeah.
If you'd be so kind to let me take your head off, I'd be much obliged.
Yeah. Thank you kindly. See you anon.
Yeah. No, I do want to see that Rug highlight being played. I think that was big.
I think as well, to a certain extent. I mean, I agree completely with what you're saying, but I think there are exceptions. I think as well with Rug maybe a little bit. After a performance like that, he could have just not said anything. His stock's gone up. He's going to get a big matchup now, and he's put the world on notice now. And I'm so impressed by that performance.
Well, let's put it this way: if you're a heavyweight, do you want to sign to fight Rug?
Nope. Not me.
I mean, he's got that wrestling background. We know how important that is in MMA. Now we know he's got hands. He's also going to have a big size advantage over a lot of heavyweights, because he's huge. I mean, he was fighting a big heavyweight who was taller than him today, and he was still a good few kilograms heavier.
Do you know what would be interesting? Maybe they were talking about Marcus Buchecha fighting Rug, and that got cancelled, right?
Yeah, that wouldn't have been an ideal matchup.
For who? For Rug?
For Buchecha, really. For his debut, when he's got a big name.
It's a big ask.
That's what I mean.
You've never fought professional MMA. Would you like to fight this gentleman here? Yeah, but at least on the ground, he's one of the most significant jiu-jitsu practitioners ever. At least he'd he'd have a threat, right? All right, Chris.
Of course.
All right, Andrew, Leon, Nick, absolute pleasure to be there. That was pretty fast, wasn't it?
Who wants the
Yeah.
top right corner?
How impressive was that?
Quick.
Super
Anything
easy.
different there, Chris, than you would have thought was going to happen?
I actually was surprised that he didn't really. Well, he used his wrestling really, but he used his wrestling in order to strike. It was a pretty solid finish, pretty good control. I thought he was going to go straight for the takedown, going against someone who is a pretty decent kickboxer. That's probably what I would have assumed going in, looking at the two different styles. But Rugrug hits hard, pretty amazing. And just a really quick question I wanted to ask is: does anyone know what Rugrug actually means?
No.
Great question. Great question. Letty, please enlighten us.
I have no idea, but I assume it means something.
Yeah. I've never thought
I
about
was
that.
with you, Chris. I thought his path to victory was to get the fight down to the ground as soon as possible. Chris, we don't want to look at your crotch.
Oh, sorry. I just had to adjust the camera. I do apologize. Yeah, I agree with you. Probably should have. I thought he was going to try and get him down to the ground.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be. I thought it was going to be risky for him to keep it on the feet.
Yep. And
Such
also, what I found out about Rugrug is the management company he works for, I think, is part owned by Charlie Sloth, the radio DJ from Fire in the Booth on BBC Radio 1 Extra. So if anyone's ever listened to Charlie Sloth, welcome to Camden Town. The part-time rapper, part-time DJ. Quite an interesting story. I don't know how Charlie Sloth reached out to him, but good luck to him.
Does he have any Senegalese roots?
I have no idea.
It's
Letty,
really, mate, I think
Letty,
really
what does
good
Rugrug
insight, isn't
mean?
it?
Can you translate his nickname, Letty?
I'm buzzed to have Letty on here, to be honest with you. That's awesome insight that we've got Rugrug's manager here. What did he say before, Nick? He said people love him because he loves the sport.
Yeah,
there's some truth in that, to be honest. He's a pure
Letty,
man.
We love Letty.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely is going to become a huge star for this organization, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Everyone talking about him. I mean, you just type it in. I checked my Twitter, and pretty much everything was just exploding with Rugrug. I could see nothing about the UFC. I could see nothing about Bellator. It was pretty much just all one championship, and in particular, Rugrug right now.
Do you agree that one have got to do everything they can to maximize him right now? Maximize this moment, maximize who his next matchup is, maximize that promotion, because they've got a star on their hands. Use it, use this moment. What do you reckon?
Definitely.
I'm pretty sure they will. I'd be very surprised if they don't.
Yeah, 100%.
That's their job. They promote their promotion. They promote fighters. A name, especially, he's got a bit of an Ongla thing about him, as in he's got a whole country behind him. So he's already got a huge fan base, and he has the potential, more so than Ongla in a way, to go globally just because he's like this big, scary dude. He's just crazy.
What a moment for African MMA. 3 UFC champions and Rugrug absolutely tearing through one's heavyweight division. Big.
Oh, yeah, definitely, 100%. And I think the only issue that one might have with him is it can be quite hard just because of the time zone, because obviously we're based out here in Asia. They're trying to get the American market right now, and, sometimes that African-European time zone kind of falls a little bit to the wayside, because I would assume in Senegal it's probably about the same as the UK, so it's about 2 a.m. there, 3 a.m., something like that, so bit of an awkward time to watch, but I went onto the one official stream on YouTube, and pretty much it was just full of Senegalese. So,
Yeah, they'll be staying up late in Senegal tonight for this.
Yep.
For his fight.
Who's the first person that you think of when you think of Senegal?
Ooh, I can't say because I hate the man, but I was going to say El Hadj Diouf.
Yeah, that would be me. That's our generation, right?
Yeah.
Diouf.
I always just remember the 2002 World Cup.
Isn't Sadio Mane from Senegal?
I think so. Yeah.
Are you a Liverpool fan?
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, but I don't want to. I don't want to.
I really put you on the spot then, man.
Yeah, we've got a fair few African players right now, and here we go. Chinga is ready to go. And did any of you guys see all these posts on Facebook comparing the UFC Venom fight kits with the One Championship Venom clothes? And you do realize it does seem Venom put a lot more effort into their One apparel than they do their UFC apparel.
Yeah. Does Giorgio Petrosian wear Venom?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
And
hello.
it looks like Chinga may well be wearing Venom, but I cannot totally see.
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah.
Well, Venom don't make uniforms specifically for One, do they?
No, I don't know, because some of the shorts they do make, they are embroidered with huge One Championship logos on. So they might not be a soul, but there's obviously some sort of connection for them to embroider.
But I think that'd be just for the individual, wouldn't it? Like, because a lot of
who did you guys pick in this?
I picked Chinga.
Yeah, I'm back in Chinga.
Yeah,
I went with Keel.
But
fair play.
these are probably two, both in the top 10 featherweight kickboxers in the world. Easy.
It's been a wicked first round. I'm loving that left hook to the body.
100%.
Was that how long was that first fight? 1 minute and 10, I think.
150.
Yeah.
There's 3:10
Okay.
left.
Shit, you're right. Yeah.
Rugrug from here is just going to go up. I do feel a bit sorry for Big Swiss making his MMA debut and not really getting the opportunity to do anything or show anything.
You got to respect him signing on. Anyone who signs on to fight Rugrug, I just have so much respect for. What's a bit frustrating is that Amir Ali Akbari lost his debut because I think him versus Rugrug is a match that has to happen in the future, don't you?
Oh, definitely, 100%.
Yeah, but maybe not immediately because, well, maybe sooner now that Ali Akbari lost, because obviously there were two of the big names, and when one of them loses, they kind of lose their hype. So that's the kind of a fight you want to delay, but maybe not so much now. Ali Akbari's is kind of with his loss.
Well, he was supposed to be on these on one of these cards, right? Is he no longer on a TNT card? He's supposed to fight on TNT3 and Anatoly Malakin, right?
We got TKO, didn't he? I think was it less than 2 months ago.
Yeah, but according to Tapology, he's still fighting on TNT3.
Oh, he's not now, because obviously that's where.
Oh, that got pulled because of the TKO.
I'm not sure, but I think so. Yeah, because they announced a while ago that Stephen Loman and John Lineker was the new main event, the one on TNT3, which is now going to be John Lineker versus Troy Worthen.
Pretty boy Troy. What an opportunity for Troy Worthen.
Yeah. That's quite an interesting matchup as well, because although Troy Worthen just lost his unbeaten record, it was very competitive, wasn't it, against Yusuf Sadliev, is it? Am I saying that right? Who's the number 2 ranked bantamweight in the division, I think, 2 or 3 behind John Lineker.
That seems harsh. Hey, according to Tapology as well, did you guys know about this? That G1 Kang was supposed to fight Buchecha on a TNT card.
Yeah.
And that got cancelled. Why?
Yeah.
I think Kang he got banged up by Ali Akbari despite beating him. He got cracked on the orbital, I think.
Oh yeah. So who are they going to give Buchecha to? Still undecided.
He's not going to be competing now on TNT series. They couldn't find him a replacement.
Oh.
When are we going to have rankings for heavyweight?
It's got to be soon now. We've got
They got the division. Yeah.
We've got enough for the welterweight division as well now. We just need some more light heavyweights and some more of the super series divisions.
And maybe middleweight as well. Middleweight is a little bit thin, I find.
Middleweight, maybe middleweight, yeah.
Yeah. I think they don't have to do every division in Muay Thai. They don't have to do every division in kickboxing. I think like sometimes it is just better to have less divisions, but the ones you do have, make them stacked.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of competition for talent in the world of kickboxing and MMA.
They should be able to, because I mean, a lot of the fighters are competing in Muay Thai and kickboxing. So it's not as if they need 10 names. They could theoretically have 5, 6, 7 names and have a Muay Thai and a kickboxing division. I think, no, really, you want a division. You want rankings for every division, don't you? Because otherwise it's a bit silly if every single division has rankings apart from one.
Yeah. Does anyone think Heel kind of blew his load a little bit after the first? Looks a bit tired.
He's puffing a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's been a fun fight.
Yeah. It will be very, very interesting to see what the ratings do over on TNT when we find out in a few days' time, I guess.
Well, I was saying, because Mike Tyson is on AEW today, so you couldn't have a better way to attract casual fans, right?
Nice with that jumping knee. Are we on the same time?
Heel is absolutely going for it.
Oh, yeah, you can smell blood in the water, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh! Nut shot. Oof, this has been pretty ferocious.
Yeah, 100%.
So early in the morning. Oh, I cracked him with that straight. That was nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, someone commented, how do these guys take so much punishment? God knows.
Yeah.
Well, think of Muay Thai. I mean, not only like the likes of Rodtang that fought about 300 times, they're now punching each other in the head with MMA 4-ounce gloves.
Yeah. I mean, as well, you look at some people like Rodtang, you look at people like Superlek. I think I was looking at Superlek the other day. He's like 25, is he? Or 25, and he got his first title back in 2012, and I'm doing the maths, and I'm like, bloody hell. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can't have a beer, but he's winning championships in Lumpini. It all seems a bit mad at times. I think it is definitely, though. This is the way, if particularly Muay Thai, I mean, kickboxing does have its fans everywhere, but this is a great vehicle just for Muay Thai as a whole of a sport, isn't it? Being on One, being on TNT. I mean, has there ever been Muay Thai on, like, prime time in America? Or just after prime time? Probably not.
Wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah. Unless you went back to maybe the 80s with, like, Duke Rufus, maybe.
Oh, the Duke.
Yeah.
Oh, nice teep. Man, when he lets it go, like, oh, hello.
Oh.
This is a really fun fight. Bam. Keel's still there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
I feel like Keel almost looks a bit like Jamie Lannister.
Chinga looks a bit like Marek Grigorian. Do you think? It's got similar
a little bit.
Yeah.
So we've got Lannister versus Grigorian here. I don't know. I think those combinations from Keel have been really good.
Yeah.
He's got a win against Bacau, I think, back in the day.
Oh, wow.
A very,
that jump knee, man.
Controversial decision.
Ooh. Did anyone see the picture of Saki Kabara, Dana White, and Floyd Mayweather doing the rounds?
Yeah, okay. One thing that bothers me is people who wear their shoes indoors. Floyd made them wear little plastic bags on their shoes, but just off with the shoes. If you've lived in Asia, you just can't abide shoes in the house anymore.
100%.
It's just gross, man. But imagine asking Dana White and Sakaki Barra to put plastic bags on their shit.
Yeah, but it's okay. Floyd for sure knows some gangsters, and so does Dana White, and so does Saki Kabara. So they're all chill.
Well, I like the fact that when Dana posted the photo, he cut the feet out.
Yeah.
He's probably gutted when the full photo surfaced.
Yeah.
Man, Keel has thrown 2 jump knees. It's thrown a Superman punch. I've been impressed. Oh. And that left hand. Oh, some beautiful combinations.
I think this is gonna be. This got to be Keel the whole fight, right?
Yeah, for me.
Yeah. Chingiz looks a little bit tired, a little bit worn out.
Now that was Keel for me, dude.
Yeah.
Give pretty much every round to him.
Yeah.
Yep. Fantastic fight.
Did you guys all make your picks on Fanatics?
Yeah. Just so everyone out there knows, when we're talking about Fanatics, what are we talking about? We're talking about the best goddamn MMA app out there. Chat with me, Andrew Whitelaw, Nick Atkins, Tom Taylor, some of the brightest and best minds in the whole MMA game. Get on there. Come and show us how much better you are at making picks. Me and
Not
Nick,
Leon.
we don't get anything right. So come and join. Leon's not on it. He only goes on it when he has his tinfoil hat on. So there we go. I think it's a really good move that one have made doing all these shows on one day as well. Because I guess with like Rug and a lot of the Malaysian fighters, I believe 13th of April this year is the start of Ramadan. So it kind of cuts out that problem for a whole bunch of their roster, right?
Wait, so are they recording multiple shows today? How many are recorded today? Do you know?
3.
All of them?
TNT
24
1, 2, and
fights.
3.
My word.
Oh no,
That is
The 4th show is
what a day
live.
for the what a day for the commentators. Like the most I think I've done is 19, and if it's not a fun fight and it's like the 15th fight of the night, you've got to dig deep. You know, if like there's no action and there's just a massive feeling out process, you've got it. Sean Wheelock likes to drink a 2-liter bottle of Diet Mountain Dew, and you need it. Like it's a hectic one. So respect to Chevello and Chilson for this one.
Yeah.
We got a split here.
Split decision, is it?
I mean, it was a close fight. It was a great fight, but I thought Keel for me just thought he had it quite.
Yeah, I had 2-1.
Clearly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
If it
think
was
a
gone
little-
either way,
It's a little bit of an upset.
oh yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Well, I got that one wrong. On Fanatics.
I think most people did. I think like Kel's a great fighter, but I think he was the underdog going into that.
It was, yeah.
Chinga was one big signings last year, the Super Series.
Yeah.
2-0. Bosh.
It's not too bad at all, guys.
Yeah. Well, I was quite jealous of your breakfast today, Chris. That looked like a good show.
It was absolutely delicious. There's nothing better than a breakfast buffet. Like, it is one of the great joys in life. And even for people like Leon, they had vegetarian sausages, they had omni pork, they had impossible meats. So there was a selection for everyone. Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah,
that is impressive. Where are you, and why are you tucking into buffets? What are you doing?
Just because there's not been much else to do, and I took a little bit of holiday off with my girlfriend being a teacher. She has the Easter break, so did a 2-night staycation. So just enjoying the big room, enjoying the swimming pool on the rooftop, getting a little bit more tanned. Do you know what I mean? Haven't had the opportunity to use the gym, but if I was using that gym and getting a bit of a tan, you could call me Rugrug Junior or Rugrug Senior.
You love to see it. You love to see it. We are all happy. We're happy for you, Letty.
Yeah. Man, Umar is an absolute beast. And I do predict big things. And I mean, in all honesty, whenever one's next show that's not part of this TNT is on, I don't know if they have anything before Empower on the 28th of May scheduled, but I think Umar can fight again, right? He barely took any damage.
Yeah.
He's fine.
He'd be ready to go TNT 4.
Yep.
I would, like I said, maximize it. Yeah, get him on another card as soon as possible. Or do you let Kang heal up and have him fight him?
Ooh, that is a shout. I feel
Maybe that's too big for immediately, because Kang's just he's done a little bit like Rugrug's son. He's just burst onto the scene. Do you want one of them to lose their hype now? Maybe you do. Maybe you want to be making huge matchups ASAP.
The good thing is there's some great matchups for us to talk about at heavyweight, because I think it was a little bit light for a few years there.
Very light, and now it's very stacked, just almost overnight.
Yeah,
they had a period was about 4 months. They didn't have any fights last year. In that period, they signed a lot of good talent. They were making positive headlines despite not having any fights for months. It was pretty crazy.
Gordon Ryan, I don't think is ever going to fight MMA, but if he did, surely get him to fight Buchecha. They're both 0-0. It would be a grappling match with a few punches thrown, but it might be quite fun.
Oh yeah,
I think he may do. You never know. I saw his IG post, but I mean, he's with Gary Tonin day in, day out, and Gary Tonin can testify how much he enjoys MMA.
Yeah, but he also can testify how horrible it is to get punched in the face. And a lot of people straight up don't want it.
John Danaher always says that from the moment he met Gary Tonin, obviously he was passionate about jiu-jitsu, but he always also wanted to do MMA, and he's not so sure about Gordon Ryan. And he says he would prefer Gordon Ryan not to do MMA, because he said a few times that Gordon Ryan could be the first person to become an athlete who never has to work again from submission grappling or jiu-jitsu. Like he is already, I think, made like $1 million off it, but he's going to make money where he never has to work again and is fairly well off. And he really thinks that Gordon Ryan should focus on that, because he'll create a pathway for everyone else.
He is unbelievable. He is just on a different level.
Yeah.
Are those guys all still living in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Tropical.
Less tax, eh?
Dude, New York with the pandemic
less BS as well, I think, living in the US.
Well, it's still part of the US. It's just an unincorporated territory of the United States Commonwealth.
Oh, yeah. That's what
Chris dropping knowledge.
Yeah. Because when I think of Puerto Rico, I always think of Peter Schiff telling everyone to buy gold, move to Puerto Rico so they don't have to pay tax and everything will sort itself out.
Is it like the Monte Carlo of France?
Yeah, pretty much. It's a bit strange to be doing like the face-offs and presentation of the fighters with another fight to go. Yes. I like the pyros though.
That's standard. Do you normally get to see I guess you do. The face-offs they do before the main event on the one card on TV?
I can't remember.
Must do.
Who did you guys pick for this one?
I was sat in the fence.
I remember.
I backed Tyler Maguire. I really like him as a fighter. I thought his interviews the other day were fantastic. This is an odd one because they're both really, really good fighters, and both of their losses have just been to two of the really, really top guys in Nakashima and not Abasov, is it? I can't remember.
So would you say they had two losses? The only two... Yeah. Everybody loves Raymond. He lost to James Nakashima in his one debut, and then he's won his last two fights in the first round. And Tyler Maguire, he's unbeaten in 3-round fights. His only loss came fighting for the title against Kadistan.
Oh yeah, Kadistan. Sorry, yeah.
And then he returned against Aguilantani.
I rate Maguire a lot, but I've gone for Magomedaliev here.
Yeah, I feel like Maguire.
Pakistanis these days, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like Maguire, though, at 35, I feel like this is like kind of his moment to go for it and get his push.
Did he say when he lost he was did he have food poisoning when he lost as well or something?
No,
like
when
that?
he won. He had when he beat Eglantani, he got food poisoning on the Tuesday before his fight.
Oh, fair enough. So he's a Marine, is he?
Air Force.
Air Force,
right?
Yeah.
There's a great moment, Andrew, you'd loved when he was in Jakarta. They'd done their vlog thing, a very Alan Partridge moment. They caught him paying for his takeaway, and in an Alan Partridge way, he sort of looked at the camera and went, "And here's a tip." It was so Alan Partridge. It was amazing. It was outside the what's that hotel called with the cage inside it?
The one in Jakarta.
In Jakarta, yeah.
Goes into the hotel room. Oh, it's an extender.
Is Raymond a Dagestani? Is that confirmed?
He's Dagestani, I think, yeah.
Okay. I just thought for some reason I had them down as being from Moscow, but maybe his gym is there.
Well, he's been training in Dagestan, and he's got the Dagestan beard, and he trains with. I think he told me he's been training with. I can't remember. I think one of the UFC fighters.
Yeah.
Magomedov.
Yeah, Sharipov.
No, I think he said Magomedov.
Yeah.
Like a tongue twister.
Yeah, I know.
Man, this is breezing past, isn't it? That we've just got the three big guns after this.
Yeah, and it does seem really strange because I hope this fight goes 3 rounds because otherwise, this is the first round finish. We're going to have 30 minutes with no fight.
What's up with Bellator? Not having they do this every time. There's always about at least a 30-minute break before their prelims and their main card.
Yeah, but the problem with Bellator is as well that you always know at least one fight of the night most likely is going to end with a nut shot super early. Like Bellator, like what is it? Remember there was a card.
It hasn't happened for a while. There was a period. I think it happened twice in one night, didn't it?
There was one card where they had 2 fights stopped with groins and one with an eye poke. And it was like, what is going on? They just sometimes they have a lot of luck, but it is that kind of thing, isn't it? You do tend to get a lot of them. They all happen at once. It's like the number 10 bus.
Like any bus, isn't it?
Well, I guess so. Yeah.
Could be a number 11.
Yeah.
Just gonna get another coffee, lads.
Yeah, go for it, man.
We'll hold the fort, Nick. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm really contributing a lot. I know.
That's no problem. You're probably there writing your articles.
Yeah, so just wrote Rug up. Decided to do it.
Did you? What a genius, Nick! What a multitasking legend. I've got to write, and I'm incapable of paying attention to the pod and writing.
Just zoned out on you boys.
So, what actually happened with Martin? I would assume you guys have already talked about it, but Martin's out with the co-main on TNT too?
Yeah.
I think it wasn't a SCMP exclusive, I believe, in the early hours of the morning.
It's just gone up. It was not meant to.
Oh.
Nick, you haven't said anything, have you? Because I told you that off record.
No, I was told yesterday to get it out.
Really?
What happened?
He's had
it just came up on my news feed, so I thought we could talk about it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Everyone's
getting very shifty.
He had a false. Sorry, he sat behind someone on a plane who had a positive test on the way to Singapore.
Oh, mate.
And then he had a negative, but it's still health and safety protocols.
That's got to be gutting, man, when you put all the work in, flown across the world.
Exactly.
And
I don't know what's going to happen next.
COVID.
No.
Well, there is a twist to that, but I'm not saying. I'm not telling you anything anymore, didn't Nick?
No, mate, I wasn't.
I'm joking.
Basically, I didn't. They asked me. I asked about it, and they said, "Yeah, you can publish that."
Yeah.
I joked about it with Paddy last night. I said the amount of scoops I get that I lose because it sneaks out some other way.
Don't tell
I'm just going
anyone.
to say very, very quickly before this fight begins. I want to say if I'm doing this right, is it Lati has just told us that Rugrug was a TV movie in 1992, so that's where he gets the name Rugrug.
Brilliant. That's brilliant work. Thank you, Chris, for asking, and thank you, Letty, for providing that information. I feel enlightened.
Yeah, it makes me want to actually try and find the movie.
Let's do it. IMDb. That's what it's there for, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my god. Oh my god, straight with the knees. Jesus. Whoa.
So wait, if this is a quick finish, is it genuinely going to be a half-hour break?
That'd be good.
Are any of the Malaysian fighters on any of these cards?
No.
No.
I feel that Malaysian MMA has been hit quite hard during the pandemic, and just in recent years. There was like a real golden moment when they used to have Mima, and then Agalan was on top, and then Ayman was doing well, and Jihin was doing well, and there were really like people coming through. Yeah, everything, and the Subas. That was kind of a golden generation. I think it really helped because they all came from Mima, right? And then Mima disappeared, which I think was really disappointing. And one Super Series could have, Warrior Series could have helped bring that, maybe fill that void a bit.
Yeah.
And it maybe did for a bit. But yeah, as someone based in Malaysia, I'd love to see the Malaysian MMA scene come back. But
yeah, definitely.
It's tough
Why did they stop doing Mima? Do you know? For people watching us, Malaysian Invasion MMA, that was a sort of a promotion within Malaysia, which brought some big. Lita Adiwang forward in it. Some other big names outside of Malaysia forward in it as well.
Well, it was sponsored by Tune Talk. I think you need someone to bankroll it, and for whatever reason, I don't know if they weren't able to anymore.
As you mentioned, the whole One Warrior series again. That's completely come to standstill, isn't it?
The Warrior series was Singapore. The Hero series was China, right?
Hero was China. Although they announced the Philippines Hero series, a Muay Thai version in Thailand. But these were just before the COVID.
Because now they're doing the Road to One, and they've got a Road to One coming up in Prague soon.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much just to get Thomas Bjorn paid a little bit and get him over to One Championship, right?
Yeah, the Road to One's almost kind of taken over the Hero series.
Yeah.
It's the COVID.
It's been a useful vehicle. Itsuki Hirata kind of had her tune-up fight on that, didn't she?
Yeah. Didn't Shinya have a fight on Road to One too? I think Takanori Gomi might have shown up on one.
In between doing weird stuff with his bum.
Yeah.
That was very odd.
Yeah.
Wrestling. Oh, the knees.
Yes.
The knees. Just, I've never eaten a knee, thankfully, but I don't think I'd like the taste. Have you guys ever been kneed in the head?
No. I'm not Aljamain Sterling.
I did once when I was a kid.
Really?
On a bouncy castle, took a big blow with a massive black eye. And it was a day before my school photo as well, so there's evidence of my face being out here somewhere. And I was about
Leon and Peter Yan on a bouncy castle.
Yes.
Ooh. Just even that, I feel, would just blow out my hamstring.
It's like leg kicks. We can take one of them, and they take repeated leg kicks. It's crazy.
Well, I always takes me back to I want to say, is it Jose Aldo and Uriah Faber? Do you remember Uriah Faber's leg after they fought, and it was just what?
Yeah. Colourful.
Yeah. I do love Tyler Maguire, as always, rocking that autistic kid's rock on his shorts. Gotta love it. I feel like
He's a special education teacher, didn't he?
Yeah, man, he has such an interesting story, and particularly with this being on America on Bleacher Report, feel like that's the moment you make a little promo and cut a little bit of information on him.
Yeah, we're lacking that, aren't we, a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, he's cut open. Was that from an elbow?
Most likely, but it could also just be from head-to-head contact because they've pretty much just been in a standing clinch the whole fight.
I think Maguire kind of held his own in the grappling there.
He looks a smaller guy, doesn't he?
Yeah. But he is in pretty phenomenal condition. Look how jacked he is, dude. He needs this, Maguire, I think. But
yeah.
For another knee. Get ready for another knee. Little short elbows. I think that's what's maybe busted him open. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, look at the reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Where does the cut come? Have a look. Not sure how much damage those knees actually did. Oh, yeah, the elbow, surely. Gosh.
It has become something in MMA that has become slightly underutilized in the last few years, is the Muay Thai clinch. I mean, you go back late 2000s, Joe Rogan loved nothing more to talk about how important the Muay Thai clinch is in MMA, but you don't see it as much anymore.
Yeah. Loma uses it really well, obviously.
Yeah.
Right, it's a big round now for Maguire, I think.
I think if I was to maybe go, I think shoot for the single, shoot for the double. I think take it to the ground. But I just have a feeling if he doesn't try something else or change his game plan, I think it's just going to be knees and elbows in the Muay Thai clinch again.
Switching stances.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dip and do some writing in a minute, boys. I don't think I've got it in me to do the Nick Atkins special.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine if you want to dip out at the end of the round or at the end of the fight.
Man, I do miss those fight promos before the fight, though. I don't know. Why don't they do them just for time's sake, just to make the show go faster? Or?
Yeah, quite possibly. Is that another groin hit?
Like it.
Oh. So we've got if you think, do you think the winner of this gets a title shot, or would probably still need one more win after this?
Well, yeah, Abisov's going to go up and challenge Derrida, I think, is the plan. So,
okay,
whatever happens, they have to wait.
I would like to see one drop a interim. Then I love an interim title.
Yeah.
I think if you're moving weight classes, you should have an interim while they're doing something else. Like in my opinion, or the number one contender should wait. But waiting isn't always the best thing to do.
Well, the thing is, I think with Abisov, he needs to defend his title before he starts going for a second belt.
Yeah.
Like, don't mind going for champ status, but clear out your division, or at least make an effort to start clearing out your division before. Literally, when I interviewed him after he won the belt, and he called out Ong La, who was the middleweight champion at the time.
Yeah.
And the thing is as well, since then, the welterweight division's got more stacked. There's a couple of obviously the Dagestani guys. You've got Kurdistan guy. Who did Kurdistan lose to? The end of recently, like in the last few months. I think who's another Dagestani.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple of defences for him there before he moves up, and then you don't need an interim title.
Abdullayev. He lost to Abdullayev, neck cramp.
Abdullayev, yeah. Abdullayev, who looked a beast, because Kurdistan's obviously former champion.
Yeah.
And he ran through Kurdistan. So he's obviously in a strong position to fight for the title. If one of these two can make a statement in the last 7 minutes of this fight, they've got a shout for the title shot.
Yeah. I mean, the one problem you do have with trying to tell anyone to defend their title in one championship is you do have Brandon Vera there, 6 years as champion with 2 title defenses, which is just.
Which, to be fair though, he was pretty much the only heavyweight in the division.
Yeah.
For a while. He can't do that now because now we have a stacked division. It needs to keep moving. When there was no one in the division, he could get away with it. Similar to Ong La in the light heavyweight division, there wasn't many people for him to defend against.
Yeah.
There still isn't actually. I mean, he's fighting obviously Vitali, defending his belt against Vitali, who's a fellow middleweight like him, although he's been struggling to make the middleweight limit, Vitali, recently, I think.
I'm sorry to say that I see no route to victory for Maguire here at all.
That's why
is he generating any power in his strikes?
No. Or very little.
He looks a bit tired. I mean, like he said to me before last week, he said his fighting style is pressure. When he fought Kurdistan over 5 rounds, he said he didn't really run out of gas, but he didn't have what it took to keep pushing in the 4th and 5th round. He's got that pace today, but he's fighting someone who has a similar style, which is just going to wear you down. He's still going forward, though.
Oh!
This is better.
Much better.
He needed to end that round strongly, but nice body kick.
He definitely looks a bit gassed.
Yep.
Well, that was a nice body kick.
Enjoy the invention there. Oh, he's puffing, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. I just hope that they can get Bibiano a fight soon.
He's not getting any younger, is he?
No, at age 41.
41.
I still think as well, like a lot of people maybe don't realize, but to me, he has won championships definitely in the MMA. He's the GOAT, the best ever fighter, I think. I think it's going to be a long time till we see someone match that. 7 title defenses. I think no one's going to match that for a long time. I mean, the only people who are close to that are Panda and Angela Lee, but they haven't quite got the same kind of body of work that Bibiano has. And obviously that's because he's 41. She's been doing it for a lot longer, but it would have been nice to really get him on like a TNT card and kind of give him that moment in the spotlight against the John Lineker in the US.
I don't know how
100%, man.
Pardon, Leon?
I don't know how much he's been able to train because in Canada, I think the gyms are all shut down still. They're really strict in Canada. So because you thought after John Lineker beat Kevin Bellingham, that was the fight to make. And they gave John Lineker Stephen Lohman instead. So I thought it was down to Bibiani's side. He's just not in a position to prepare for a world title defense. I might be wrong. I mean, when DJ was asked about it in the media day, and he gave the impression that Bibiani's waiting for a challenger. But maybe that's his mindset. But maybe, I don't know.
Well, when I last spoke to Bibiano, he didn't seem in any real rush, and he didn't seem overly bothered about opponents. I think he's waiting for that really special challenge, and maybe that stage in his career. Yeah, that was, to be fair. But I think maybe do they want John Lineker to earn it with one more win?
He just beat Kevin Bellingham, the former champion, number one contender.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I know. It was an amazing fight. It was one of the fights of the year in one. But how many fights did he? That was his second fight in one, was it? Second.
Yeah.
You can see them wanting to maybe eke it out a bit more because either way, I don't know. Like if you could make the Bibiano fight, then I think put it on the TNT card, and it's the biggest fight to make, right? But I don't think it's the end of the world to make John Lineker fight one more time, and it gives a chance. Because Stephen Lohman is coming in as the champion of Brave. It was a great fight. Like I was buzzed about it, but it's just disappointing that Lohman pulled out. I don't know if Troy Worthen is quite the same challenge.
Yeah,
he's up there in the top. I mean, like he's not in the top 5, but like I said, he lost a very competitive unanimous decision to Yusuf Sadaliev. Is it Sadaliev? Who's the number 2 contender in the division.
And he looked unstoppable before that, Troy.
Yeah, and that was his first ever loss, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he's got
a bit of everything.
Yeah. And he's American as well. He's another athlete.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a selling point for the US market.
Yeah. I think as well, Lohman maybe as well, it is kind of worth saving him a little bit because a lot of these the big Filipino names, apart from obviously some of the ones coming through and the Passion and whatnot, Joshua Pasio, but quite a few of the other guys, Gehe and Edward Folliang, some of them are starting to get a bit long in the tooth, aren't they, nowadays? Some of the old, more established Team Lakai guys.
Yeah. I agree with making someone earn their title shot, but I think finishing the number 1 contender, I don't think you should fight again before a title shot. But that might not be the reason. It might have been because Bibiani wasn't in a position to defend.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, no one would have argued with Bibiano Lineker. I mean, that's a blockbuster affair, isn't it? And I hope we get to see that.
They are definitely altering their rules a little bit here. One championship with all the blood all over the place, all the claret as they like to call it. Because I mean, from all my years of watching Asian MMA, they are generally far more squeamish when it comes to blood. And this is an absolute beast of a fight, actually. This third round has gone back and forward. I just wish we could have seen this from Tyler, but I don't know if this is because everybody loves Raymond. Is a little bit tired going into this final round.
This is why I got criticised. Listen to this, Andrew. When we were doing our picks yesterday, I didn't make a pick, so I just said it's a 50-50 fight. I can't pick it. and the fights turned out that way, exactly like I predicted. Who's going to win?
No.
We don't know.
No, everybody loves Raymond is going to win this fight, mate.
I'm sorry, Leon. You can't go to the bookies and say, I'm going to put a tenner on it being a 50-50 close fight. You know, the bookies don't really like that.
How tight is this guillotine, man? How tight is this?
Yeah. I don't think it's tight enough.
He's not going to tap, though.
Off his ear out there.
Tyler goes out on his sword if he goes out at all. I don't see him tapping here.
I think
it's quite tight.
Maybe resting.
Mate, it's not a great position to be in.
He just moved his knee.
Not best position to be in to finish the fight either.
I think that. But I don't think this is a difficult one for the judges, to be honest. Do you really think it's been 50-50?
Well, to be honest, I've been talking too much. So I haven't paid it as much attention as I wanted to. But from what I've watched, it was really close. I need to stop talking so much during the actual fights because I can't multitask.
Everybody loves Raymond. Wasn't that troubled? I don't think.
I know. I thought Tyler was coming back stronger in the second, third round. Got takedowns.
Needed more of this full mount.
Yeah. If I was doing UFC scoring, I probably would give the first two to Raymond and the final one I would give to Maguire.
Yeah, 2-1. Yeah, I'm with you.
But scoring the whole fight, I think you just have to give it to Raymond.
But
I just saw someone Someone on the comments on YouTube just said Maguire dominated.
Oh, wow.
Someone else saying 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe more important in the result, we got not only did we get 3 rounds, we also had a nut blow, which caused a bit of a delay. So we're not going to have a 30-minute window between before the main card.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what, guys? We might have some fresh guys over here, guys and girls, watching one championship event for the first time. So just so they know, let's listen to the result first. Sorry.
Unanimous decision.
Unanimous, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty happy that went 3 rounds, though. At least we don't have to wait too long to the main show. That's a great result. Great fight.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
He's a problem in the division. He's a contender.
I'm just going to say to everyone out there, just so they know, one championship fights, they judge the whole fight. The most important criteria is if there's a near knockout or submission, followed by damage done. The third criterion is striking combinations, ground control, generalship, and control superior position. Takedown and takedown defense are the fourth, and aggression is the fifth criteria.
That's a good point.
Sharing the knowledge.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Chris.
Well, you know, a lot of the time, and even me myself, when I do all fights in one championship, in my head, I still score them as a UFC fight. I always do. Who won the most rounds, really. I find it sometimes really hard to look at it as a whole 15-minute exchange.
I prefer it, actually. I've come to prefer it, and I think it'd be better if the UFC did it. I think it would make, because, I don't know, I think it makes the judging more accurate, I think, rather than speculation of who, particularly as we use a boxing 10 must score system in MMA, which is ridiculous. And like you got Dana White the other day complaining there's too many 10-8s. There's not enough 10-8s. There needs to be more 10-8s, more 10-7, maybe even 10-6s, because 10-9 is too not specific enough. 10-9 could be virtually 50-50, or it could be fairly comfortable. And if you do that, if there's 3 rounds like that, the person who wins on paper isn't necessarily the person who deserves to win if you judge the whole fight as a whole.
Lads, it's been really fun. It's been awesome catching up with you. It's been too long, so good to see everybody. Enjoy the rest. Now when I think of Senegal, I'm not going to think of Al Hadj Diouf or Sadio Mane. I'm just going to think of Rug, the man. Yeah.
But remember, if you think about Egypt, don't think about Egyptian top team. Think about Mohamed Salah.
All right, nice one, boy.
Yeah, have a good one. Mix de la Cruz just put that, and he said, "Is that published anywhere?" I think you can find that criterion on the One Championship website. And actually, I took that from a tweet by Rich Franklin.
And One Championship, they clarified it on Twitter as well. I think someone had commented, "Why have you done that?" And they just said because we didn't want DJ to be fighting too late for his US fans.
Yeah.
So Eddie Alvarez is next. Yes, I think.
So in that welterweight division now, what with Abdulayev and Magomedov, that's two Dagestanis, both I think equally worthy of getting the next title shot.
Yeah.
So again, if Abasov moves up to fight Reina Dorita, you could just have the #1 contender fight there. If that happens, if that doesn't happen, then
yeah, I mean, this is one thing that we do have to say, and particularly if you do look at the UFC, a lot of people for the last few years have been making this whole thing about all these Russians coming over, Dagestanis coming over, and how they're going to dominate, and they have to a certain degree, but it's only really Khabib who has picked up that strap, and there's a lot of them who are really, really good, and they have really populated out of a lot of divisions and a lot of top organizations around the world, but we are still quite yet to see them get to the point where, they have 3 or 4 belts or something like that. I mean, you can compare it to even, AKA, one gym in America at one time had 3 champions, in the 3 highest weight classes. And, Dagestan still quite hasn't achieved this, and no knock on Dagestan, a great region, great people, but, You know, a lot is made of it, and I think as well, like we forget that this guy mostly striked. He didn't really wrestle, and I think because of what Khabib's done and some other Dagestanis, we kind of all lumped them in that box as being wrestlers first, but they all have varying styles.
Yeah, I mean, he's known as well more for his strike as well. You've got like Zabit Magomedov Shirapov in the UFC as well. Again, I think with all of them, they have that wrestling foundation. And then some of them have gone out of their comfort zone early to develop themselves as strikers earlier than others. I mean, but I guess the younger it is, I guess when Khabib and that first started, MMA wasn't a plan. It was just wrestling. Whereas I think the younger you are now, I think even though you start out wrestling, the long-term plan is always going to be MMA now. So you're probably going to more likely to.
Also, Khabib, his dad as well, he was so heavy grappling as well, because you have to remember, Khabib also has a black belt in judo and the equivalent in sambo. They were the only sports he really did until he was 18. His dad is a black belt in all three as well, or equivalents anyway. And obviously he's from a super, super high, but, you know, and as well, they do these Masters of Science degrees over in Russia. So you get someone like Peter Yan, and I think his Master of Sport that he got off the government, I think, was boxing. I think he was a top amateur boxer. So you can get them all being good at different things.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, we shouldn't always get confused, because some of them, they're not always all Dagestani, but they can be from neighboring regions and they look kind of similar and have similar names. But
racist.
Not racist, not racist. You know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Because a few weeks ago in Bellator, there was a guy with a very similar name, and lots of people said he was Dagestani, but it turns out he was Chechenian, which is literally the next region next to it, and they are Muslim and they have the beards, and instead of wearing the big white hat, they wear a big black hat. So, you know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't realise Chechen was next door. Is it to Dagestan?
Yeah, right next door, yeah.
I thought Dagestan was part of it, because obviously you've seen the power that Chechen leader has, almost even over the likes of Khabib and Hamza Shimyov, telling Shimyov, "You're not retiring."
Yeah.
And then I just want to announce I'm not retiring.
Yeah.
And he's not. So, and that's the next door region. Because again,
that's
I'm
the
about
next door region, yeah. And then on the other side, you've got Kazan, which is very similar, and that's why they do the dance where they lift the legs up, and that's also another Muslim region. So, and then below that, you've got Azerbaijan, Georgia, and they're all, you know, I don't want to say the same or similar, but you know what I mean. There is a kindred spirit between them all, and they do have similarities in their love of wrestling and combat sports.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I might just call them all Russian just to be safe, because you don't mean any offense, but you could get something wrong, and
oh yeah, definitely.
And you don't want to offend anyone over a silly mistake.
Yeah.
But when it comes to
I went to university in Wales, and you know, it took me a very long time before, you know, when I introduced a group of friends, and when I went on holiday to another country with some of the Welsh lads, and I said, "Oh, we're from England," and they very quickly want to point out that they are not from England. So, but sometimes you do forget, don't you?
Well, I went on a stag do with a mate of mine, and one of his mates was from Bristol, and all weekend I just kept calling him Welsh, and every time I did, he punched me.
Yeah.
Because he had the Welsh accent. Well, no, it's not Welsh, but it's coming from East England. Someone from Bristol sounds very, very, very similar to someone from Wales.
Well, I mean, they're right next to each other. Yeah. I mean, you know, if someone in Newport farts, people in Bristol can smell it.
I love the Welsh.
I was going to ask, do I look like Mario Yamazaki, or is it you who looks like Mario Yamazaki?
It's something like, shit myself, have you? Who's bought those shoes? You see those two houses in the valley? Mine's the one in the middle. I'll tell you that I went to see Oasis and the Foo Fighters. I've done this mini festival in Cardiff years ago, and we made a weekend of it. The Welsh people are the friendliest people in the world.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was at a bar and it was packed, and the locals were letting me in. And I was like, no one's ever done that ever, because it's dog eat dog. When you're in a crowded bar, and you're just praying to get served. No one goes, here you go, mate. You can go in front of me.
I don't think it happens to men anyway.
Yeah, not men.
Yeah, definitely. Man, I'll tell you what, this promo has been going on for quite a while, man, with Eddie and DJ, but I guess these are their big American stars. They really do have to push them. I mean, let's just go through it very quick to everyone in the chat. These two fights are just absolutely fantastic from a mixed martial arts perspective. I mean, they are the two biggest American fighters that this organization's ever had. And these are going to be, I think they're both going to be really close fights. And I think most likely the Ty Maguire fight for me might be the fight of the night, but we're going to have to see what happens in these two.
Has Mitch been commentating? I've got it on mute.
I have it on mute as well.
Because he's not there next to Michael
Johnson.
and Rich Franklin.
Dom is there for sure.
I've seen Dom. I'm talking about Mitch. Mitch hasn't been on the broadcast. If anyone in the comments is watching and they haven't got it on mute, they're starting already.
Oh, apparently the pro wrestling still has not ended on TNT. I would assume about 3 minutes ago, Mike Tyson just made his appearance, and a lot of people have been talking about it on the Twitterverse and whatnot. So they think that Mike Tyson thing should give one a real big boost going into this main event.
They're starting the main event 3 minutes early.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, especially if the wrestling hasn't finished. Is the wrestling live? Because I know it's not. Is there any point in it being live if it's not like real? I don't offend any wrestling fans out there, but do you know what I mean? Though, if it's not like a proper live sporting event, does it need to be live?
Yeah, I think it is that thing though, because it is all in Florida, isn't it? So they've got a crowd, and you kind of want that
crowd, I guess, yeah.
And I think as well is you just want to. One of the whole points of pro wrestling, isn't it, is like everyone knows it's fake, but like the whole idea is like everyone kind of wants to believe it's real to a point.
And I can't believe this fight's happening already.
Yeah.
Crazy, they're starting before 10 o'clock in the US.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised by that. I thought they would have waited 3 minutes.
Starting early, right?
Yeah, I was just saying that. They started Iuri Lapicus' walkout 3 minutes before the main card's scheduled to start. And Chris has just said the wrestling's going a bit late. So you would have thought, if anything, they would have delayed it 3 minutes, not gone 3 minutes earlier. But maybe again, it's Brian Campbell's influence. They're thinking, "Come on, we've got to get these fights out before America goes to sleep."
Yeah,
I think they just want that to go off the air and then straight in, and Eddie's in the cage or something. But they're going to have adverts, aren't they? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Leon. Yeah.
There's going to be adverts in the US. I assume TNT has adverts.
They do like
10-minute advert every 3 minutes.
Screen in screen, screen on screen. Is that the right thing?
Yeah. I like Eddie Alvarez. He seems good at the moment. He looks very focused. Nice to see him coming out with the American flag. I think that's as well something that American athletes do like about coming over to one is they kind of represent their country a little bit more.
TNT just cut to Eddie walking out. Says WMMA scene now. That's cool.
Oh, Uh,
So no adverts or what?
Well, I assume there's an advert right now while we have nothing on our screens over here. So they're probably showing an advert for something very quickly.
do we know
Well,
as well, Nick? Do you know if Mitch Chilson's on the broadcast? He hasn't. If he's commentating, I would have thought he is. He was in the stadium yesterday, but he hasn't been on the actual broadcast. I don't think, has he?
What,
It's just
tonight?
It's just been Michael and. Or was he there at the beginning? I don't think he was at the beginning either. Was he? It was just Michael and Rich Franklin.
I think Mitch has been doing the interviews in the circle, right?
Oh, again, I haven't even been listening to the interviews.
Yeah,
I guess
I think
he
so.
might be. Yeah, I guess he might be ringside for the interviews.
Yeah, I think it's just Rich and voice.
That's the trouble with watching this on mute. You lose a little bit of track of what's
really?
going on apart from the actual fights. And then even then, I need to ban myself from talking during the actual fights.
Just put it on another browser.
I just get immersed into the conversation and just stop watching the fight.
Can I just say something very quickly that you guys were talking about when it first started, and you were talking about Brian Campbell and Luke Thomas. They actually said they don't hate one. They actually love one. They think it has some of the best fights and the best cards in the world. They highlight it all the time on their show and all the amazing fights. The thing is, they just don't like Chatri's lying. And then Luke Thomas came out and he said something about another guy that I won't mention, but he said something about another guy who used to work for one and now works for another organization that he also doesn't like.
Oh, you
Lauren
sit there in the conversation. What, did he say anything specific?
Well, he said his name. He said
Did he say his name?
Yeah, he said his name, and he said he's one of the most annoying PR guys out there.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think they just don't like being bombarded with constant stuff.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, but what you do?
I don't email that often. I tell you, there is a promotion. I get a few emails a day from them. I've had to just move all. I don't cover them anyway for
PFL
ethical reasons. Pardon? I'm just going to mention Brave.
Oh, not PFL. Okay.
No, Brave. I've had to move their. I've had to just move their emails to my junk folder. I get about 5 emails. I was getting about 5 emails a day from them.
Oh wow.
And I don't cover them out of ethical reasons.
Me with my 77 followers on Twitter, I do get messages every day from MTK MMA. For some reason, they're the ones who say 77 followers for Chris. Let's send them some emails. So anyone out there who has Twitter, I want to get to 100. Get me to 100. Come on, guys.
Get Chris to 100.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 77 followers. 3 of them in my other accounts, and 2 of them in my girlfriend's 2 accounts. So,
I started.
Here we go. Underground King. Iuri Lapicus.
Oh, I can't take another Eddie KO defeat.
No.
Did this go out the first round?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
If it goes past the first round, I really favor Eddie. But Eddie is one of those fighters as well who does take damage and gets finishes while taking damage.
I think this is smart, though.
Yeah,
I think Christian showed Lapicus isn't too hot down there, right? Oh, nice, Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie right now has
out.
Iuri down with a double leg. Oh, are you ahead of me?
Disqualified.
What? Time out?
Struck him on the back of the head.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. And we have a special comment there from Amy Kaplan in the comments.
Hey, Amy. What's up?
What is going on? This is not a great debut now for one on TNT, right? See, that to me is the side of the head.
That's the side of the head.
Oh, he's lying.
Yeah.
What are they going to do here?
Well, we have a break right now, guys, in the action. He seems to have just cut him behind the ear. But you can catch someone behind
That's
the ear.
neck.
Right, isn't it?
That's the neck.
If it touches the ear, it's legal.
There's one where he's just gone like that. Yeah, I don't know. Eesh. What the hell?
Yeah, this is not absolutely particularly good for Eddie. I'll tell you what, though, he does look really, really good, really fit, really bodied up. This is the best I've seen him look physically in a long time.
What do you do if you're Lapicus?
I think continue on. I think if I was Chatri, if I was Matt Hume, if I was anyone there around, I'd be going, continue the fight, lads. You know, we're live on TNT right now. This is our big American debut.
I mean, if you got the volume of what they're saying on the, I'll just turn it on for a minute.
They're just discussing whether they were illegal strikes.
Right. If it's not illegal strikes, is it a KO?
I don't know. It has to get out of a round and a half, doesn't it, to go?
Yeah, but it could, if it's not illegal, if they say it's not illegal, then isn't it technically a KO because he was no in state to continue anyway? He's had to take a break. He's still on the floor. He's not able to defend himself.
To complicate matters, he took about 3 punches full on in the face after he stopped because of the blow to the back of the head.
Mm-hmm. Just if one of you guys can just turn down your volume 1 or 2 touches, I'm getting quite a bit of feedback.
Oh, I think it's poor old Leon's trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, yeah, that's much better, Leon. That's much better. Oh man, poor Eddie. He looks absolutely dejected.
Yeah.
But come on, Eddie, don't give up. This is one of those moments, right? Can't they just pay him a little bonus and be like, let's get you on one on TNT4, right?
They've only got 6 fights on that card and they're already booked up. It's not as if
red card. DQ.
Fucking hell.
Wow. Wow, that is absolutely unfortunate for Eddie Alvarez.
Wow.
But
talk about drama.
We don't want this angle. This
on
angle
TNT drama.
The referee had obviously said something as well. The referee had obviously warned him, and he's just punched him in the same place. The thing is, Iuri's not moving his head. Rich Frankton was saying, if you throw a punch and then the fighter moves and you hit him in the back of the head, it's not your fault. But look, this is the angle. That's the back of the head. That's back. And the neck as well.
is that the first red card we've seen since Kevin Bellingham?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Rich Franklin, I think now is talking about the Mohawk.
Oh.
But
yeah.
But I know you can't hit on the Mohawk, but there is actually a punch, isn't there? When you get them right behind the ear, isn't that is a defined part, right?
Thing is, though, he's got a warning. You're there. He hasn't. Lapicus hasn't moved, and he's just thrown a punch in exactly the same spot again.
So he got a warning.
It looked like because at one point the referee said something, and he looked up at the ref.
That is
and again, from Lapicus' point of view, this doesn't help him a lot. He wanted to win this to get another title shot. He's not getting a title shot for disqualification win. Damn.
It's such a shame.
Deary me. Okay, I've got to write that, but I'll be silent in the background here.
Who does Christian Lee fight next? Yeah, if he wins his title fight, that is.
Good question. Another shot. I remember being at one a new era in Tokyo, standing next to Ann Osman, and Timothy Nastasiuk knocked Eddie Alvarez out. Just remember just being in shock, like looking at each other, going, "What have we just seen?" And this is like another moment like that. Like, what?
The only criticism I would have of that decision is, as a fan watching it live, I don't think they really showed enough replays. I feel like if that was in the UFC, we would have got replay after replay.
We've got a few. I think maybe slow it down. I don't know, but what a way for your first ever fight on TNT to end.
I mean, he's had nothing but bad luck. He had the eye injury in the Nastasiuk fight. He had the going back into the semi-finals of the Grand Prix, winning, and then having to pull out due to injury. And now he's had this where he hasn't really got to see anything.
I've just seen as well, Aljamain Sterling just tweeted, wait. He's clearly acting here. I would know. Where's his clowns emojis at you cowards? Show yourself. What about me? Hashtag what about me? Guys, I'm clearly kind of sort of kidding.
Oh dear.
It's nice to see Aljo.
Trolling.
Yeah.
Thing is though, to be fair, we didn't see Lapicus once afterwards, did we? There was no shots on him. There was just shots on Eddie and the replays. So I don't know.
There was one shot of him about 4 minutes later, of him still lying down.
Oh, wait, can I listen to Eddie here? Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
He's just standing there, just so upset, isn't he? They cannot get to him. Okay, sorry, guys.
It's not, is it?
No. What a disaster.
Everything that can go wrong is going wrong. The only thing is, it will get people talking. Everyone who's wondered into this.
I was thinking that.
Everyone who's wondered into this from AEW will be like, oh, what's just happened? It's probably got them thinking. And it's probably got them thinking, oh, it's 10:15 over here in America, 10:15 as they call it on the East Coast. They might be thinking, oh, Brian Campbell was saying DJ's on a bit too late, but now I've only had to wait 20 minutes, so...
Was it multiple shots or just one?
Multiple. Well, okay. there was multiple in that region.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't say they're all completely back. I don't think any of them touched the ear, but some close to the ear. I think the last one was quite low, so it was on the back of the neck as well.
Eddie's on again, sorry.
Cover the mic up and turn it up a bit.
Seems really upset, like he's crying.
Yeah.
Iuri must be fucked.
Yeah. It'd be nice to know if Iuri's okay, actually, just in retrospect.
Oh dear. on a stretcher.
Oh wow. I just feel so sorry for everyone involved.
All right. Fuck.
Yeah, he's devastated.
Yeah.
And just
So
so
let's
people...
on a strategy. To be fair though, one do tend to if there's any sort of injury like that, one always bring out the stretcher. They always do. Something they always do.
Yeah, definitely, man. And just reading some of the comments on Twitter. Sorry about that. My mic just fell apart. I'm gonna have to hold it. Just some of the Twitter people saying just how bad Eddie's run's been. It's been a disaster. Tom Taylor, unacceptable charity, saying this is not going to plan. Hashtag unacceptable. And just a lot of people seem pretty upset and sad, but a lot of people do seem to be enjoying the show anyway.
Thing is, though, those blows were border. Whether every single one of them was illegal or not, they were all borderline. Would you risk punching, which is behind the ear, which is it's a difficult one. Like Eddie said, it's in the heat of the moment. You're in a fight. You're in a cage. You're throwing punches at your opponent.
Yeah.
But it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing. Almost everyone is saying like it's a bad start for one championship on TNT, but everyone is saying that the silver line out there is that everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
True. I'm just looking now. Yeah.
Definitely, but hopefully, at least Rich, they're back laughing again. The boys are talking. They're getting ready. So that's a little bit better, and it's just a bit of positivity, isn't it? At least we've still got Rodtang and DJ to come. And here we go. This is the big one. This is the one we've all been waiting for. And yeah, just the two best flyweights in the world, in my personal opinion. Wow. I think a lot of people out there may well be slipping on Adriano, though. I mean, I checked the odds a bit of a while ago in the UK and found one that was doing 11-2 on Moraes, which is absolutely preposterous.
All right. Excuse my silence again. I just
it's
story out.
And got a few nice comments there. We've got the MMA scene saying it was one punch that hit the center. Alan Bones Jones is saying he would like to see Eddie Alvarez versus Peter Yan, Pride rules, knees, soccer kicks. That'd be perfect. But I think Eddie Alvarez might just be a few pounds too heavy for Peter Yan. We are enjoying the card so far. The card has been really, really good. We started off with absolute fireworks. We had a kickboxing masterclass, and then we had a really good back and forward war. Fairly close, but the right man won, Raymond Magomed Aliyev. And then we just had the slight disappointment of Eddie Alvarez going down, losing by disqualification, I guess, to Iuri Lapicus. It did go down as a DQ loss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a bit of a shame. I would have much rather seen it ruled a no contest, but yeah.
It's a difficult one. I think when you put in that situation, whatever the decision's made, people were going to criticise it.
Yeah.
If it was a no contest, people were going, "Wait, that should have been a disqualification." And again, I think most of the upsetness has just come from the fight was over so quickly. It's just fans wanted to see more of a fight, but
yeah. I mean, Killer B Win has just said that she thinks the referee should have been given verbal warnings. You've got people like Aaron Bronstein thinking it's very, very weak. Brett Okamoto saying very similar things.
he did get a warning, a verbal warning first.
Okay.
And then Eddie said in his interview, he said after the verbal warning, he'd done something, but it didn't look like he'd done anything any different. It looked like Iuri Lapicus' head stayed exactly the same position, and Eddie Alvarez punched in exactly the same position as well. So, again, I'm looking from the outside in. Eddie's obviously in there. It's more difficult to know exactly what's happening physically.
Yeah. I've even got some people out there like WMMA Scene Now who's actually in the comments tweeting out that he thinks it's all just a fix by one championship so that Christian Lee doesn't have to fight Eddie. A lot of people saying that online.
They're not, are they?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So yeah, I guess hopefully on 1-on-2 or something. I think they've just got to get Eddie to fight. He's just such a big name. He's such a good fighter. He's 35, 36. We've just got to see him fight, haven't we?
The thing is, like I said, no one wants to see the fight end that way. As soon as them punches landed, and then Lapicus went down, whatever happens it's not gonna be ideal. Suddenly you're in a situation you don't want to be. No one wants to see. No one wants to be in.
Yeah. WMMA Scene is saying his tweet is actually meant to be a joke. It's just a joke. Alan Bones Jones is
that
asking.
Narrative though of people thinking that this is a fix by one, and people will think that, so Christian Lee doesn't have to fight Eddie Alvarez, is ridiculous.
Yeah. Alan Bones Jones is saying, what has the Cambodian king himself, Leon, thought of the card so far? What would you give it out of 5, Leon?
Probably 4.5. I think you lose half. At 5.
Oh wow! I was going to say a 3 so far, but we'll see how these last 2 fights go.
I'd go maybe 4. I think it's been a brilliant card. You had an amazing start to the card of Rug. Then we had a fantastic kickboxing matchup. Then we had a 3-round war in MMA with Tyler Maguire and Magomedov. And then we've just had a bit of a disappointing end, which from a controversial and drama aspect probably elevates it more, but from a satisfaction point of view, wasn't great.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly pop to Little Boys Room before.
Yeah, that's absolutely no problem.
The main event.
Just got to hold it down.
That's absolutely no problem. I'll read out some tweets. I'll read some comments. If anyone wants to get in there, let me know. WMA Scene did another one saying doesn't help that Lapicius pulled an Aldo. Chael Sonnen recently said, the fight's over, to someone who said it's over, lol. He replied, what's over? You're as bad as at telling the story as the promotion. A lot of people asking if he was stretched out. He was stretched out. I've got Arturo Miranda saying, how the hell do I watch this card? Hellboy 2 is playing on TNT right now. I don't think it should be. Arturo Miranda, are you on the East Coast or the West Coast? Are you in the United States? I'll try and sort something out for you. I have Ace in the comments saying the Lees are the children of Chatri. WMA Scene Now, Series 4, the size difference in the next fight really does make one's weight classes / rehydration deal look questionable. Yeah, that's the one big issue that a lot of people have. We do find a lot of American fighters, they do always look undersized. I mean, Tyler Maguire looked undersized tonight. Eddie looked undersized tonight. DJ looked undersized tonight. But we are told that the hydration test, it does work and it does do everything it does. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I can't really tell you much about that. Arturo Miranda is on the West Coast, so I think it might actually go out later on tape delay. I am not too sure. I mean, I don't know if you can watch it online and you can VPN and change yourself over to the East Coast. I don't know if you can find it out on YouTube. Could in theory VPN it. I don't know. Maybe it's on like TNT too, but I'm American, so I have no idea. And Alan Bones Jones is saying great card so far for my first one card, and thanks for the great coverage. Wow, I can't believe Alan Bones Jones has never joined us for a one card before, but thank you very much.
Oh my God.
And Eddie the Blasian is saying it has not started on the West Coast yet, so it will be on tape delay because all the posters do just talk about the East time zone. And here we do have Adriano Moraes giving a little bit of backstory and how happy he was just that DJ won the Grand Prix, because this is his big opportunity for a breakout. I mean, this is a fighter. When you talked to him, Nick, was it, I want to say about 8 months-ish ago, autumn, and he got his first ever sponsorship deal, am I right?
Yes.
No,
January, I think. Yeah.
Well, January. Oh, wow. It's not that long ago, but it's okay, Nick. I'll take all your silences as yes, Chris, you're right. You're wrong. It's always the best way to live your life. I don't know what's going on. Arturo Miranda, Ghost Phantom 98, if that's how it's supposed to be said. He said he's watching it on the West Coast. And here we go. Here is the man himself, Adriano Moraes. In my men's pound for pound rankings, in one championship, Adriano Moraes, in my opinion, right now is probably ranked number 2, only behind Bibiano Fernandez. I think they're the best 2 fighters that one have to offer in any weight class. I think they're far more well-rounded than any of the other champions in any weight classes on the men's side. I mean, if you're doing a pound for pound on the men and female talent, it would probably be these two, the 2 female champions, and probably for me, quite possibly, maybe Derrida, but we haven't seen much of him in the one circle. Maybe Ongla, just because of what he's done at 2 weight classes, despite his recent loss. But, this just gives you an idea that these guys have done everything. And I mean, Adriano has just been an absolute beast. And you know what? He's such a nice guy. He's so well-spoken. He has such an interesting backstory. I know he hasn't really spoken about it, but just absolutely fantastic. All the adversities faced, now enjoying his life in America, living in Florida, I believe, coming from the capital of Brazil, Brasilia. So, yeah. I mean, as well, guys, what you also have to remember about this fight that makes it so interesting is both of these fighters have 3 losses on their record, but neither of them have ever been finished. Adriano, I believe all 3 of his losses have been split decisions. He's gone back and avenged 2 of those losses. One of them, he won 2 out of the 3 fights in a trilogy. So he has done everything. And just to let you know, man, this is a guy who has been fighting since he was born. This is a man, I believe, was abandoned in a church by his mother shortly after his birth. So it does just give you an idea. Being fairly small, this is a flyweight. He was bullied as a kid. He got into capoeira, he got into judo, he got into jiu-jitsu, and it does just show it. It is an absolute amazing rags to rich story, and they just need to push it.
Well said.
Hey, I try my best. And I'll go back to the comments while Dom Lau is about to introduce the fights. Ain't that Curtis is asking me if you don't have cable where to watch the fights. Ain't that Curtis? I would recommend maybe looking for an illegal stream. I shouldn't really be saying that, but go just find the legal stream. Use YouTube. It might be on YouTube. Use a VPN. There's always a way around it. We know Chatri is watching, but we know a lot of people around the world are using illegal streams to watch the what is it called? The number 1 most watched English language reality series premiere of 2021 in the One Championship Apprentice Edition.
There you go.
Yeah. Eddie Alvarez is saying a 10-minute free preview. Eddie the Blasian says it's a 10-minute free preview. Pray it only goes 2 rounds. I think this is actually going to go to decision. If you go, we all made fight picks earlier on the Fanatics MMA Fantasy MMA app. You can download it in the App Store, in the Play Store, Huawei Gallery. You can chat on there, create your own groups. We have a SCMP MMA group. There's a Reddit group. There's a Twitter group. You can have chat. You can see fighter records. You get video content. I think in certain parts of the world, you can actually stream this show on the app. I think everyone, Drake Riggs, me, Nick, John Hyunko, White Law, I think all of us, me, just someone who gives a bit of an opinion on fights, all the official journalists in there, and most people are going for this to go to decision. So most people are expecting 5 rounds. And WMMA scene now is saying, wow, Moraes coming off a longer layoff.
I left one comment on there, didn't I? Height difference.
The height difference is mad. I mean, 12 centimeters, about 4 inches. Pretty big height difference. But since DJ did move over to Asia with one championship, he has generally been fighting people who are much bigger than him.
I'm surprised Olivia Costa wasn't refereeing the Eddie Alvarez fight.
Yeah.
No way.
Was it Suleiman?
Sorry?
Was it Suleiman?
Is the bigger guy?
Oh, okay. I missed the guy who did the fights in Thailand. You know, the fella who looked like a bouncer.
Oh, the referee.
Yeah. Nick Chapman, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't rate him too much though. He wasn't a fan of the ground game.
Yeah. And here we go, guys. As it shall begin, we have Mighty Mouse Demetrious Johnson in the blue corner, or blue side of the circle, Adriano in the red gloves, and this is just a little bit of a feeling out. A little bit of back and forth.
And this is such an intriguing matchup.
Yeah. I would assume as well it's quite hard for a lot of American and European-based fighters to get their sponsorships over to Singapore, because a lot of the fighters do tend to be sponsored by like CBD and gambling companies, which I don't know you're allowed to advertise in Singapore, are you?
I'm sure. I know they're quite strict in some Asian countries.
Yeah. A lot of people, some people in the chat saying that Moraes is going to gas if he keeps up this pace.
He's not dictating the pace.
No. A cheeky overhand left from DJ, but not too much power on it. This is the one good thing, though. You do have a bit more of an opportunity in one championship to feel each other out, whether you like it or not, just because the way the scoring does work. Remember, we are not scoring this fight round by round. This fight is scored in its entirety. Sorry, Gilberto Pacia Silva. We are not showing the fight. We are simply a fight companion. If you want to watch the fight, you will have to go onto the One Super app or find One Championship on YouTube.
Or it could be on TV in your country.
Yeah.
Depending on where you are.
Martin, a lot of people are saying that my hair is slightly resembles Adriano's, but Adriano can definitely get a comb through his. I cannot so much mine. I am going into a natty dreadlock, man. This is exactly what we need, though, and this is what One Championship needs, is they need this fight to go a few rounds, ideally. Oh, man.
Imagine if this ends in a disqualification.
What you really want in this is you want some knees to grounded opponent. You want to make the most use of the rule set. And you know what? You can tell this is a big fight because my girlfriend has just took her earphones out and said she wants to watch Mighty Mouse. So there we go. Yeah, I do agree with you out there, Ghost Phantom. DJ's clinch is absolutely brilliant.
Oh shit.
I want to say yes, this is Moraes on top and half guard, but DJ is in a very good position. He's got his foot against the cage for the extra leverage, and he is landing strikes.
He's so calm in these situations as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. And you can see,
He's
man,
not wasting any energy.
yeah, he's got his shin rested against the opponent, creating space and distance between him. And you can see him now getting in the occasional elbow. As Moraes attempts to advance position, but it does show you absolutely how good DJ is on his back. As Moraes keeps trying to advance position, and he cannot quite do it. Thank you very much, Chase, for liking my haircut. I haven't had it cut in a few months, so I don't know if you can call it a haircut, more of a hairstyle.
In England, we call it hair.
Like right when I turned it on, like this guy comes in with a beautiful accent. Like I just wanted to punch somebody for some reason. I don't know why.
Hello, guys, and just
what happened with Eddie, man? Like I was doing the podcast. So I don't know exactly what happened.
Oh my goodness.
It was
shambolic.
Just in my opinion.
Did he get DQ'd?
Yeah, he got DQ'd, red carded, kind of caught Iuri just behind the ear.
But wasn't it on the ground though? Like he had him like, was he on top?
Yeah, he was on top. He was getting a lot of strikes in. Iuri was not really responding. He must have got, I think, 5-6 strikes until there was the one behind the head. And then
they're all this region. There's 5 or 6 punches all behind the ear. Some nearer the center than others.
So was it like controversial?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty controversial. It's been pretty controversial on Twitter.
Man, Eddie's just had a terrible luck in like all his fights. You know what I mean? Like his Edward fight was even kind of a weird one, right? Where he like hurt his leg and he was injured, I believe, heading into the fight, and then he got that submission.
Yeah, I mean, James Goyder just put up a big thing, and he says that is the problem with the red card system, is that it kind of gives every fighter the incentive to quit, which is kind of true. Because I believe, I'm not sure if it's the same as Pride, but if you get red carded, do you get a cut of their pay?
As well. Yeah. You lose 10% if you're
yellow card.
For yellow cards, yeah.
Yeah.
The hoe is back. Everybody knows the hoe and the fro.
Yeah, the hoe.
That's my dog. That's my guy.
And the Cambodian king.
And the Cambodian king. Now we got to get Nick. Oh, Slick Nick. That's Slick Nick. Whenever he got the hat on, he's Slick Nick.
Okay. Much better than Austin Powers, eh?
Yeah. yeah. Or that guy from Podstars.
About Nick being Austin Powers and John being the Korean guy who was in the Austin Powers movie, but I don't want to mention that guy's name.
Who's the Korean guy?
Joe Sun.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Damn, he's dead now, I think.
Is he? I thought he's just been in jail for the
passed away. Yeah. Or he's in jail or something happened to him. Like something bad happened with his life.
Yeah, man.
No, you never can recover after you punch somebody in the nuts straight. Like, wasn't he the one who won by nut shots?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird. Yeah, I think that's the last thing you want to be known for. But hey, Adriano's doing really well against DJ.
Yeah, he's controlling the pace 100%.
Yeah. Look at the size difference, man.
100. Anastasio asked me, what do we think of the Eddie stoppage? I thought it was a little bit too easy for me. I would have liked to allow the verbal warning, but I'm the only one without earphones in, so I'm probably not the best person to ask about the verbal warning.
He already had a verbal warning.
Yeah,
DJ is having problems, man. Like he's pressuring, but like even if he takes the fight to the ground, Adriano's very dangerous on the ground, right? I just interviewed like one of his training partners, like right before I came on, and he was talking about his nickname. Adriano's nickname in the gym is called the Mouse Trap.
The Mousetrap versus Mighty Mouse. That's absolutely
That's why,
perfect.
because he's been.
Oh my God,
preparing
They
for
finished
finished
Mighty
him.
Mouse.
him.
Oh,
Just
wow.
finished DJ.
he dropped
Oh my
him.
goodness.
Oh,
He finished
Oh,
DJ.
damn, it's over. It's
Round
over.
and
TKO. God damn it.
Adriano Moraes.
Damn, I told you he was
Finishes
going to win.
DJ.
Mopping in Brazil.
I told you he was going to win.
That knee to the down opponent.
Wow.
The ironic
This
thing as well,
dude is a monster, man.
DJ was tweeted the other day about the knee to the down opponent.
Exactly. He was like,
And
they
then
should change the
ironically,
rules
he
for
gets
him.
finished with it.
That's a man. DJ, man. That's the worst finish. I think he's been finished, man. Like, he's never been finished.
Yeah, that's his first time he's ever been finished.
Damn,
And that's what
dude.
we all love to see is the honor, respect, and value that one championship.
Of
So
course,
much
man.
difference.
You gotta respect it, man.
Yeah, man.
Adriano, man. That was insane, dude.
Did they run it back?
No, why would they run it back? What's the point of that? You know what I mean? Like, this is the champ right now. Like,
Yeah.
Adriano needs to go full Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
Look at
He
this
dropped him
uppercut.
with that
Boom! Rocked. And then he gets in some punches. Then the knee right here. Beautiful. Boom! Now that's going to be compared to Peter Yan's knee. Watch. People are going to be like, this is what real MMA is right here. Look at this knee.
Bang.
Crack.
That's it.
You know who's going to tweet now? Aljo. Guaranteed. Aljo's going to tweet something.
He
with this
tweeted
highlight.
about the Alvarez disqualification, telling Lapicus he was acting. He's going, oh, you clowns now.
Jesus, man. That was insane. That was phenomenal right there.
KO or TKO? Was he out? He looked out for a second.
No, I think it was TKO.
TKO.
Man, after 2 years of just sitting on the sidelines and just training only, and he just comes back with this. This is the best performance against the best dude ever. Look at Chatri. He's pissed off.
Yeah.
Look at his eyes. They're like lasers.
Yeah.
Again, that's it's just validated him as well. The fact that one championship's up there of UFC, all these UFC fighters have come over, and none of them have dominated. Like most, if you ask anyone in America, they'll be, oh, DJ's going to win the title easy. Eddie's going to win the title easy.
It was minus 900 for DJ.
Yeah. Just before we went on, you could get 11-2 or plus 550 for Adriano.
Damn, I wish I was able to bet. I would have put some money on Adriano.
Did anyone catch the time? The time of the finish?
No, but I'm going to go quickly through some of the comments. We've got people going, no, from Ghost Phantom 98, WMMA scene now, saying, damn. Ace, the ref stopped it too quick. DJ slipped and Moraes took full advantage. People asking, knee in a down opponent, is that okay in one? Of course it is. This is the global rule set. What an amazing game. Adriano Moraes is so amazing. DJ is also good, but Moraes is the best. From Myra Aqueno Mamon. Sorry about that. Damon 141722 is saying, lol, this looks like a 145er versus a 125er. And Alan Bones Jones asking the boys, what's next for Mighty Mouse? I'd go Akhmetov or Reese McLaren for me.
Well, no, there's two key flyweights. There's, well, Reese McLaren's fighting Wakamatsu on TNT 3. That's the 4 versus 5. Danny Kingad and Kara Akhmetov 2 and 3. They were scheduled to fight last year, but he got cancelled because of COVID. I imagine that's going to get rebooked. So then I think you wait for both of them fights to happen, and then you decide who wins more impressively of the two winners.
Did Moraes
Aljo already tweeted, dude. It says, this is why knees to downed opponents are vicious and illegal in MMA and the UFC. If this was the USA, that knee was not allowed, and Mighty Mouse can get up in the more. This is the dumbest take in the world. What is he talking about, man? Like, Aljo's just losing fans with like some of these comments he's putting out.
Are they going to interview him? Can I just grab these quotes, guys? I'm sorry.
I reckon.
Oh, so we can't talk?
Just briefly, sorry. Oh, it's DJ first. Yeah, let me just grab this. Or actually, I'll leave the stream. You guys talk.
I'm going to turn it up a bit as well. I want to hear what he says.
Yeah.
All right. I hope Mighty Mouse is okay. Man, come on, man.
Yeah. It looked like Moraes just asked DJ for a picture, and I think he just turned him down.
Why would you ask for a picture right there? Like, Makes no sense. Man, that was phenomenal.
Yes.
I was
And what
interested
is
before.
on Twitter, you have a lot of people like Killer B. You have people even like Kyoji Horiguchi congratulating Adriano Moraes and saying some of the best fighters in the world are not in the UFC. It's nice to see that. You have Ben Askren saying that neither the grounded opponent are legal in one championship. It's the best rule that one has. And just a lot of good stuff going out on Twitter at the moment. El Helwani saying how rare it is. And then you've got Chael Sonnen just saying that everything that won championship is dumb, dumb, and dumber. And are you guys, can I talk while you guys listen to the interview?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ace saying Chatri's eyes, a leg of photos right now. Zen's asking who won. Marias won. He won. He got a knee to the head and then finished him with ground and pound TKO. Some people saying DJ's the GOAT. Marias versus Figgy, how does it go? Got to back Marias after that performance. DJ's all class, win or lose. That is absolutely true. I agree with Ghost Phantom 98. We do have to give DJ respect. He's such a respectful man and just a top competitor. Damien 141722. A lot of people saying that the size is too bad for DJ and that Marias is probably walking around 20 pounds heavier all the time. I can see that, but it's hard to prove. Mike Asef is saying, I love one now. It needs way more mainstream exposure. A lot of people talking about how they love the rule set. The size difference between Marias and DJ makes you think how effective one's hydration testing is Tristan Shawhouse. Tristan, always a good friend of the podcast and everything we do up here. And Zenz is saying no one uploaded the fight yet. Zenz, you might be able to find the fight on One Championship's official YouTube. If you're in North America, you may have to go on Bleacher Report or TNT. Obviously, it's one on TNT.
Why are they so like close to each other? Chavello and Rich Franklin, they're so close to each other.
Yeah. Pick up the Dice team. Nice to see that American top team logo on there. And anyone out there who's got a big business, who's making a lot of money, give this guy some more sponsors, man. He only got his first sponsor this year. And, you know, he's been at this so long. And I just want to see this man get paid. I want to see this man happy. This is a man who has come from nothing, abandoned in a church a few days after being born. They did not know what day he was born on. You know, and this shows this man has been fighting.
Adriano did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was abandoned
crazy,
by his birth mother. He was adopted.
Man, I'm so happy for him, man.
Yeah. Can I just say one more thing? Is I like that Rich and Chavello and Dom are all wearing jackets and shirts tonight. Rich with no tie. But why did they all always on the not preview, but the weigh-ins? Not the weigh-ins. You know, the face-offs and interviews with the fighters, the pre-fight press conference. Why do they always wear a T-shirt with jackets for them and then wear a shirt with a jacket for the main events? I don't get it.
Oh, really? It was different?
Yeah. No. Not sorry for the not for the prelims. I mean for the pre-fight press conference and face-offs, they always wear a t-shirt with a jacket, but then whenever there's fights, they wear a shirt and a jacket.
I have no
Time
idea,
smart,
man.
isn't it, I guess, for the actual event.
Me and John KL, John of Kowloon and Koloan, were having a big conversation yesterday on Twitter, actually, that does kind of go into what a lot of people are saying in the comments, where he was saying, actually, that DJ probably would be best suited to dropping down a division in one championship.
Well, that would be his division, right?
Yeah.
There isn't others, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
Joshua Pacquiao.
The thing is, though, theoretically, he should still be fighting everyone a similar weight because no one's cutting a lot of weight. He's not really cutting any weight. He's like Adriano Moraes. He's cutting a little bit of weight to get down to 135.
Yeah.
So he doesn't. He physically couldn't get down to 125 without cutting weight and still passing the hydration test.
Who? DJ?
DJ said that. He goes, I couldn't get down to 125 and pass my hydration test.
Okay. Well, I mean...
Unless he adapted his whole lifestyle and body shape and everything like that. But he doesn't want to do that. He's at the end of his career.
Muscle mass. He'd have to cut muscle mass, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you, Chris, just before Moraes' interview, you said, what did Chael Sonnen comment?
I think because he lives on the East Coast, he's like, the fight's on at the time. And then he was just saying, one, they can raise a lot of money, but I don't know how they do it. They're dumb. I don't want to say the wrong stuff, but I'll actually get them up. So he says, so one championship spends investor money, then tells the world the wrong start time. Not great. One championship literally advertised the wrong start time. You can't make a dumber mistake. And someone said, it's over about the Eddie Alvarez fight. And he was like, what's over? You're as bad at telling the story as the promotion. But we all know Chael's a company man anyway.
And he's with two companies.
Yeah, that's it. He's a cheater.
I don't think he works for Bellator anymore.
Is he not?
I don't think so. Because we didn't see him in the Bellator broadcast last time.
Yeah, he wasn't either.
Isn't he employed by ESPN anyway, rather than the UFC?
He's employed by ESPN, not the UFC.
Yeah, because I know he was in the UK. He was for a long time going on to Sky Sports, which is the big broadcaster there, and previewing a lot of the Bellator cards there. But I think that might be more through Sky Sports, the TV channel in the UK, as opposed to through Bellator themselves.
To say, what did they do about the start time wrong in the US? I thought it was always going to be 8:30, the lead card, 10 p.m. Eastern time is the main card on TNT straight after. How have they got the time wrong?
Yeah, I have no idea. WMA scene says now a lot of people are tearing Chael apart in the comments. So maybe he's just caught in controversy. I don't know.
Why? What did Chael say?
Oh, I can't read out Chael's comments again.
He criticised one for getting the start time wrong in the US, but I don't think they did. They might have done, but I don't think they did.
Who cares?
I mean, if they did, that is a dumb mistake, like he said. But I don't think they did. It was always coming straight up to TNT card, which is 10 p.m. time.
I'm going to agree with Ung Zo Miat in the comments, often commenting here, saying book the Iuri rematch. And I probably agree. He says there were very few illegal blows. He didn't do it with malice. Look what happened in the Christian Lee fight and this fight. And he just says Lapicus has a glass jaw. A little bit harsh on Lapicus, I think, personally.
That's an interesting point. The fact that there was almost identical controversy in Lapicus's last fight. Christian Lee got the win, but a lot of people said there was some illegal blow to the back of the head, and they got criticised for not doing anything. Now they have taken action against potentially illegal blows, and they're still getting criticised. So whatever one do, they're always going to have their haters.
Yeah, and then just to say with Caposa, he's saying a lot of people have shown themselves of having no knowledge of Adriano Moraes, because he did say he was the shootout Brazil 125-pound champ. He was 125-pound champ when he fought in Japan, and he fought in one before they actually changed the weight cut rules at 130 pounds at catch weight. Peter Yan has tweeted out saying, congrats to Adriano Moraes, nice knee, and good to see DJ recover quickly. I have never, ever before seen as many UFC fighters tweeting about one championship event in a very long time. The event might not have gone perfectly for one championship so far, but it's got people talking. And I love hashtag stop Asian hate, hashtag we are one. Let's stop all hate out there, man. Let's stop Asian hate. Let's stop black hate. Let's stop gay hate, trans hate. Let's all just love each other.
Oh, what about Chatri's tweet the other day? Did you see that? About Asian hate? He's going to put in, they're going to commit to millions or something, and he's going to put in $100,000 of his own money. Do you see that, John? Chris?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, he's doing some good things, man. Like he's taking the initiative. You know, you can't hate him for that. You know what I mean? Like he's doing a good job of you know, because he doesn't really have to do it because he's in Asia. Like they don't think about it. You don't really experience that in Asia because you're around all Asians, right? But he's lived in the States. He's lived in, you know, different countries around the world. So he understands like what people can face. And it is sad to see. So props to him.
Mm-hmm. Michael Chiesa just tweeted out, does Cejudo go to one now? Quadruple C?
Under contract with UFC.
Yeah. Ariel Helwani is saying it's a bit weird to see the Alvarez fight end the way it did and then see DJ get blasted with a knee while grounded, right? In both cases, the rules were applied, but just a glaring juxtaposition. I don't think so.
I don't understand why people on Twitter put their account as like kind of like a locked account and then comment on people's tweets, but we can't see what they wrote. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of that?
No.
Stupid, man.
Yeah. If I were you guys, I'd go and like what Anatomy of a Fighter just tweeted out. It's absolutely beautiful.
What did they tweet?
Just the MMA fans, the best fight in the world don't only reside in the UFC. They're also from Bellator, PFL, One Championship, and other organizations. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Start paying attention to the entire game. Tonight is a great chance for you to see that. Trust me, live on TNT.
Well, that just popped up in my thing as well. Did B. Newing retweet it?
Yeah. Yeah, Ben Askren is saying he blames the referee for the Eddie Alvarez stoppage. A lot of people saying Rich Franklin seemed very angry with the decision. I didn't have the time on. And I'll go through the odd comments. JG is saying it's crazy watching DJ go out like that. Ace says, in all caps, Rodtang, the Iron Man. JG says he feels sorry for Eddie. One unfortunate night for him. And JG, I have to agree, it's not just been an unfortunate night for him. His whole time in one has been slightly unfortunate, man. I mean, losing his debut by vicious knockout, getting his eyelids cut in half, then going back into the semi-finals of the Grand Prix, but not being able to fight in the final, and now this. I hope they can keep him out in Singapore, but it's very, very unlikely. He always seems to just want to get back to America as fast as possible. But I'd love to see him stay out there and then throw him on the one on TNT 4 cards, personally. I just think he needs to fight, and I think he needs to be active in the division. Ghost Phantom saying, where is Chatri getting the money if one is going bankrupt? He's getting off Sequoia Capital, Kamasek Holdings, which are $1 trillion holding companies. They're very, very rich, so there's nothing to worry about for now, guys. Alan Bones Jones, I do have to love this comment. He says, if you want the best one championship coverage on YouTube, you have to watch SCMP MMA. I mean, look, Leon and John, they work for other organizations. Sometimes they do other stuff, but they know they can only get the good news straight here, straight from the mouth, straight from South China. Alan Bones Jones saying, who would win, Pitbull or Moraes?
Pitbull Moraes?
What? Why would they fight each other?
I'm sorry, Alan Bones Jones. I love some of your comments. I do agree, but why are we putting flyweight against them?
Why is it flyweight? Pitbull's isn't he the featherweight and lightweight champion?
Yeah.
But Pitbull talked about he could go down to bantamweight if he really wanted to.
And realistically,
Adriano is a bantamweight. If you you know, if you're gonna, you know.
He must have some.
He's not really though, because he doesn't cut weight. It doesn't cut a lot of weight. If he fought in the UFC,
how do you know though? Like, there's a lot of guys I've heard, man, that they're cutting weight in
Because
they are cutting weight.
Yeah, but there are genetic things. You can get two guys who are the same height, very similar builds, and some people can just cut 20 pounds more. Like some people, it's just one of those genetic things.
And pass 2 hydration tests.
Yeah, some people can just cut more weight and some people carry more weight. You get differences between ethnicities. You get differences between sexes.
And people are cutting weight, and especially if you come from a good gym like Moraes's and you've got funding there, there are, like I said, the science behind One Championship's weight cutting system. You can figure out a way how to cut as much as you can, but you're still not going to cut as much as like Figueiredo. He cuts I guarantee he walks around a lot more than Moraes does.
Well, Khabib walks around at about 200, right? He says 190. That's what Daniel Cormier says. He walks around about 190 to 200. GSP fought at welterweight and walks around at 182, he says. So, you know, it does give you an idea where everyone's comfortable and what they do.
Man, that was crazy. I just hope that Adriano gets his props, man. And he's getting a lot of congratulations from a lot of champions and from a lot of fighters around the world. So that's good to see. But
I think he went into this event a few months ago. He had about 40,000 followers on Instagram. I think he was up about 80,000 at the moment. I honestly hope in a few days, man, he's got like 250,000. He can do a tweet and get 10 grand or something like that. Such a nice guy. I want One Championship to do a video about him and his story. Like, you didn't even know he was adopted and abandoned at a church as a baby, but that's something One Championship should be doing to promote a fighter like that.
They were. I mean, he hasn't fought for over 2 years. When he was fighting regularly, they were making that kind of promo. Remember before, they've almost been criticised. They love them type of promos, and they was doing them all the time before COVID. Now they're not. They're just not doing as many promos in general.
Yeah, I mean, just some of their
promos. The promos they are doing are good, but they're not. They're not banging them out as many as they were before.
Yeah, just the one promo I do hate is that one of all my friends literally thought Shinya Aoki was about 5'4", and then it turns out he's 6 foot because they always do that promo about him getting bullied for being short. Legitimately, all my friends are like, "How's he going to fight Sage? The height difference is too big," and they're very similar in height, you know.
Well, some people are short when they're young, and then suddenly
and then they grow up. Yeah. But it's like, you know, one of those things. You say it so many times, everyone believes it.
What's with the delay of the Rodtang fight? Why? Surely you'd want to roll that off as soon as. If it's late in America, surely you'd want to put it on as soon as possible before people start turning off.
Do you think they overturn the Alvarez fight?
Yeah, I think they move it to a no contest and rematch it. You haven't got to deal with an athletic commission. You can do what you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I guess we gotta tune into Facebook.
Yeah, that's it. Angela Lee said on Instagram that she starts camp at 135 to make 115. Elise Anderson says she walks around at about 118.
Wow.
Yeah, fighters like Angela Lee, she'll gradually cut weight through a whole training camp, like not eating a lot and just.
But a lot of fighters do that.
Look at Ricky Hatton. He used to cut like 100 pounds. Back in the day when
he used to balloon up massive between fights. Well, he just go on it, drinking.
He had the full English every day for breakfast and lunch.
That really wasn't healthy, though.
Yeah, well, have you seen how he's living now? Still not too healthy, but yeah.
Could we see Rodtang get knocked out now too?
If Rodtang gets knocked out too tonight, you know
that's
what?
Like the worst outcomes of all time, right? For the promotion.
Yep. If you would have even had a double on Moraes and Iuri Lapicus to both win, I think it was coming out at about 18 or 19 to 1.
Man, I just I'm still thinking about that knockout, man. That was incredible.
Yeah. I mean,
that was a beautiful knockout.
We usually do it at the end of the night, but let's be fair. I think we're all giving our performance of the night bonus tonight to Moraes, right? There can't be any. Unless Daniel Williams does something amazing now. But it's got to go to Adriano Moraes. I'm so happy for him. I'm just so happy for him. And he's... Doesn't he remind you, not in the way he acts, but he's a bit like Anderson Silva, where like when you hear him do interviews, he's kind of got that little bit of a high-pitched kind of accent. Like you wouldn't know he's an absolute killer if you met him in the streets. Moraes, he's got a bit of that softly spoken Anderson Silva kind of vibe going on. Yeah.
I like
slightly
Adriano.
effeminate kind of voice.
His accent reminds me of Amanda Nunes. He's got a similar sort of accent and sort of speech pattern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Peter Yan has just said, this confirms it. Mighty Mouse takes a full-on... he retweeted this, sorry. This confirms it. Mighty Mouse takes a full-on knee to the face and Stipe Miocic takes 2 shots to the head from Francis Ngannou, and they both recover faster than Aljamain Sterling give interviews. I mean, PT on UFC is so strong, but not Ngannou strong. And Peter Yan says, maybe I am Ngannou strong.
Yeah, did you see it? DJ was actually knocked out for a couple of seconds, and he didn't look confused as hell. He didn't need helping out of the ring. John, have you come to your senses yet? Have you realised that Sterling was play acting a bit?
No, I still don't think he was play acting. But everybody takes a knee differently, you know what I mean?
No, milked it. I think he was hurt. I think, like I said before, it was illegal. He didn't do anything wrong to take the knee. Peter Yan is 100% responsible, but Sterling milked it. I've never seen it. I'm going to bang on about this for the rest of my life. I've never seen anyone, no matter how badly hurt, no matter how knocked out, behave that way, ever.
Man, Leon really hates Aljo.
Aljamain Sterling is saying...
I'm also, actually, to be honest, I'm disappointed in him because before the fight, I was a huge fan of his. I loved the banter between him and Peter Yan, and I thought it was perfect. I thought it was like trash talking, but with a little bit of humour and respect in there as well. So I was just gutted the fact that I'm gutted the way it's turned out, the milking it, and then his behaviour since then, the things he said. Not only that, not only has he said that Peter Yan should have been disqualified now, he's also saying, oh, I wasn't very good. I didn't eat enough on the fight day. I didn't have any energy. The floor was slippery. He's also making excuses for his performance now. It's like, I've just lost a lot of respect for him.
Did Lapicus milk it too, do you think?
Yeah.
We didn't really see. Like I said, I think Chris said he was laying there a few minutes later. I hadn't really moved, but we didn't really see him. Oh, here comes Rodtang's entrance.
Can I just say something very quickly? We have a few more comments I'd like to get through. WMMA scene now saying, I have a hard time believing Angela could make true atom weight even dehydrated. A lot of people saying that there's no chance that Daniel Williams is going to win. Ghost Phantom saying that Zhang Weili walks around at around 132 and gets down to 120 for fight week. Ong is saying Eddie rematch on another TNT card. Tristan is wondering if Adriano Moraes was in the UFC, if he would be a flyweight or bantamweight. He looks the same size or bigger than Jan and Sterling. Ong again saying put him on TNT4 for Eddie. People asking, how does Vera versus Ngannou go? I think everyone's backing Ngannou there. Moraes looks bigger than Dominic Cruz when he fought DJ, is what Tan Win is saying. We've got Brandon Vera apparently did call out Francis in an interview with the Schmo. I did not see that. And we were all caught up on the comments, guys. And before the final fight, let's just send us in any comments. We've got a bit of Muay Thai now. We've got Chevello, Chilson, and Franklin on the commentary team for one championship. But why listen to them? Who wants to hear Good Night Irene when you can listen to the great sounds of the Fro and the Ho and the Cambodian king of Leon Jennings? And you know the stories you've heard about Leon in Cambodia, in Bangkok, in the Philippines, in Liberia, in Kenya. Only half
They're
of
all
them.
true.
No, only
they're
half.
all true. They're all true. There's the untold stories that you guys don't even know. It's 10 times what you heard.
Mate,
Just,
we'd be took off air if I told you all my stories.
Exactly. He's admitting to it.
But none of them happen in Cambodia. They've happened. I've been kicked out of bars in almost every country in the world. I've been arrested in I think 3 different countries. I've never stepped foot in Cambodia. If
Wow.
That's for legal reasons.
If I did, I would have probably torn it up there as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not ruling it out. I really want to go to Cambodia.
Yes.
But I don't think I'm going anywhere anytime soon because I'm not having some.
Let's not get into the tinfoil hat stuff for now, Leon. We'll save that for later. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to shoot out, guys. I gotta go to the hospital.
That's absolutely no problem. Thank you very much for having you.
Good.
All right. Yeah, not good. All right,
Stay
take it. I'll see you guys.
Take
Bye.
it easy.
Best of luck, mate. And then there were two. And we've got one more question from Tan saying, does one weigh their fighters right before entering the cage? If hydration test is true, then fighters should weigh the same at the weigh-in as inside the cage. They do not do the weighing them before the cage. The hydration test, I believe, is 2 days before, but then you can go again and make it the day before. I would actually much more like them to release more of the hydration data. They were starting to do it, but that has been kind of curtailed by the pandemic. Alan Bones Jones is saying, who would you book for Paddy Pimblett in his UFC debut? He says Andre Fili or Daniel Pineda. I think Andre Fili would be absolutely amazing fight for him. I don't know if he's exactly at that level because for everything he's done in Cage Warriors, the UFC is a huge step up. But then you can look at what Conor McGregor did. People being shocked that the Cambodian king has never stepped in his land of Cambodia. He's like the Thai king just living abroad. And they should weigh them before they go to the arena of fight day, like CASC. I don't know what CASC. I do apologize. Oh, and apparently this Rodtang fight is at catchweight. Is that correct, Leon?
Catchweight, yeah.
Yeah. And here we go, man. I mean, this is probably one of the biggest Muay Thai fights to ever really be on American primetime, right, on TNT right now with a living legend like Rodtang, and people have to think he is a living legend, and he's still only 23.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Daniel Williams was originally supposed to be lower down on a card, but the West Australian native got asked if he would like to fill in against Rodtang, and he says it's going to be the hardest fight of his career, but he says it's an opportunity he has to take, and you do have to enjoy the bravery of the man.
Of course.
Tristan is saying the California State Athletic Commission. Alan asking what everyone's favorite fight was. For me, it's Tyler Maguire. I thought it was a real good back and forward war. We've just got a bit of fear now. We have got Rodtang pushing forward. But Daniel Williams does not seem to be too out of his depth, but I would like to see a little bit more footwork. Rodtang looks much bigger now.
Thing is, Rodtang, I mean, he's got a weight advantage. I think he's about weighed in a kilogram more than Daniel, and he was right on the limit of hydration.
Okay.
Whereas Mini T was well under hydration, so I imagine there's a lot more than a kilogram difference in weight. But also, Rodtang's short as well, so he's definitely the stockier, bulkier
That's
guy.
one thing I'd like to say to everyone out there, just so you guys know, if you really, really want to know more about the hydration test and you want to get all the information before a fight, I will tell you the best website to go and find out that information is probably the one and only Asian Persuasion MMA, owned by our good friend Leon Jennings here. There we go. Did you put all the hydration information up on your website for this show?
I did, yeah.
Yep. See, there we go, guys. It's always there. So if you want a little bit more info and you want to have a look,
weigh-in results and the hydration test results.
The
interesting thing about this is we're all saying Rodtang's a massive favourite, and he is. But with his fighting style, he's always prone to get caught. And in 4-ounce gloves, it's not. And although he's got a crazy chin, we've seen people with crazy chins before suddenly get knocked out. If he gets hit right on the mark, on the dot, with 4-ounce gloves, it's not impossible.
a lot of people out there saying Rodtang is like a mini Buakor. Quite possibly. Alan Bones Jones saying Dan Hardy would be a good addition to the One Championship English commentary team. Yeah, 100%. Dan Hardy is so knowledgeable. You never know. He could do something on his own website about the DJ result because DJ is huge. WMMA scene now is saying apmma.net.
Yeah, apmma.net.
Sorry about that. I said .com earlier. It is .net. I do apologize. And would Israel Adesanya be successful kickboxing in the One Championship? Yeah, he would. They do not have that weight division actually in One Championship kickboxing. Actually, I guess he could have fought a light heavyweight because he did fight heavyweight in kickboxing as well.
Yeah.
So I guess he could fight Roman Cariclia, which would be an interesting fight. Yeah, there is the one advantage that you do think if one can get bigger, if there was an Israel Adesanya or even someone like Riddell or Volkanovski and these guys
Riddell fought in one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did.
Series.
Yeah, but you could have these fighters who came over and they could do both sports. Yeah. You know, that's the one thing Adesanya could do is, you know, rather than being a two-weight champion in the UFC, he could arguably be a 2 or 3 sport champion in One Championship.
Just imagine if Millie T does win this. You've got Eddie being disqualified, DJ being knocked out, and Rodtang losing.
Yeah, I don't think Rodtang is going to be able to win this because he just seems to be not really going too much to the head on Williams, and I think he's just trying to take the legs out from underneath him, to tell you the truth. But he does seem to be getting the best of every exchange. Daniel Williams is absolutely putting up a fantastic fight here. Late notice against one of the best to ever do it, a pound for pound. Top Muay Thai athletes for sure.
Oh.
Olivier Coste, can you put that mask over your nose, please? It's like the one thing, and I know you're not a huge Luke Thomas fan, but the one thing I always like he says is when people wear a mask and don't cover the nose, it's like putting a condom on your balls.
Yeah, I saw this. I'll tell you afterwards. I don't. Stop distracting me, Chris. You know what I'm like. Sorry. I missed the rest of the fight.
Sorry. Yeah. Daniel Williams is actually going for it, and he has. Oh, see, that's where Rodtang is so powerful. His ability to just shift weight from one side of his body to the other is absolutely fantastic. And now we can.
And he's been knocked down. He's been cut.
He's still giving it his all, though.
If he can get to the third round, it's going to be impressive.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Rodtang hasn't been showboating as much. I think he thought maybe this is the biggest stage I've ever been on. I can't afford to do an Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman.
No. He does look like he's took a bit of damage to his face, right? Rodtang. On the left-hand side of his face, he's looking a little bit bruised there. And you look at Daniel Williams. Jesus. This has been a fantastic show, man. Rodtang, I'll tell you what, guys. He's the best. He's not the best Muay Thai fighter, I think, in One Championship, but he's definitely up there. And he is one of the best strikers in the world.
He's the scariest.
Yeah. I'm a big Rod Leck, Nongo, Capitan, Superbon.
Superbon, yeah, all of them.
I love Superbon, man. I love Superbon. The best thing I love about Superbon is listening to Liam Harrison on his podcast, because just the way he says Superbon in the Yorkshire accent, Superbon, just yeah, love it. Anyone out there, if you do want a good podcast for Muay Thai and kickboxing, definitely check out Liam Harrison. Has fantastic content over there. And Bones Jones asking, when did the one on TNT cards end? For now, there is one every week for the next 4 weeks. Or apparently a lot of people are saying that TNT dropped the ball and they missed the first 2 minutes of the second round.
Of this fight?
Yeah. Man, actually, Daniel Williams seems to be... I don't know if it's very
Rodtang's getting pumped up now, though.
Yeah. I think he wants that finish on American television, right?
Yeah. That's the thing about Rodtang. Like I said, his style leaves him open to getting hit, and he just walks through them, but it just takes one punch on the button.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Williams, man, he's doing absolutely everything he can to survive. He just walked around the...
Not only that, he's trying to get the finish. I mean, because that's the only way of winning.
Yeah.
And he's throwing down.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what.
He's tough.
Was it, they call it the fight of the night? Is it called the hero bonus, warrior bonus?
I think it's after the sponsor, isn't it?
Okay, well, I would, if they're going to give one to someone who loses, maybe Daniel Williams or Tyler Maguire. I hope he's getting paid well for this as a late replacement.
He signed with one as well, didn't he, for MMA and Muay Thai?
Yep.
He's taking a few punches, I'd say.
Yeah. A lot of people, Ali Abdelaziz saying it was a terrible DQ. Usman saying that Eddie Alvarez was a terrible DQ.
You do feel a little bit for Rodtang's long-term health, his fighting style. As much as we love it, we could watch it once a week quite easily.
Yeah.
For him to be that age, fought as many times as he has, hundreds of times, and for him just to walk forward and take blows on the chin and almost enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to turn 24 this summer, which does raise questions, right? I do think, though, all these Thai fighters eventually, if this does get bigger in America, I think they have to start making them exclusive, right? And start looking after them more. Because I would assume, right, if my Thai fighters got paid similar to MMA fighters, they won't be having as many fights, right?
Yeah. You think, but then it's in their nature, isn't it?
But then you get people like Sanchai and some of those other guys that, you know, they're still fighting, but they haven't really fought anyone. Or they only fight once or twice a year at the top level, and then they spend most of their time fighting not the best fighters. I don't want to say bums, but just people a level below them. Oh, man. So much love, so much respect. Such a great fight.
So much. But, I mean, he's a tough old boy, Benny T. I mean, he's covered in claret. That's a lot of blood.
Do you think...
And he just kept throwing... Going toe to toe the whole time. You can tell Rodtang has got respect for him. He's earned his respect there.
We've got a few comments. Eddie the Blasian is saying Rodtang is a scary human. Don Alfredo saying one should sign Tenshin or Takaru. I don't think you sign Tenshin or Takaru. You sign them both and make them fight each other. Greg Hardy versus Tai Tuivasa fight. Is it a good matchup? 100% it is, because those guys are going to do is stand and bang, right? I'd probably back Tai Tuivasa for that, but that can go either way. Alan Bones Jones asking, how long has Rodtang been fighting? He made his debut in 2013. I think he was about 15 years of age when he did. He has, just have a quick look, 266 wins and 45 losses. So, you know, that just gives you
Was
some.
that Rodtang come up? I was just looking at the screen.
Yeah, Rodtang, yeah.
How many times did he fought? Or how many did what's his record?
266 wins.
366.
266 wins, 45 losses, 10 draws.
And he's only 23 years old and he's fought over 300 times. Is that on Wikipedia? Because Wikipedia, as good as they are for Muay Thai, for the big names in Muay Thai, there's some fights that haven't booked that they're not aware of.
Can I tell you one thing? If you ever go onto Wikipedia to look at a Thai fighter's record, go onto the side and then change the language to Thai, and you usually will get a much better record based on the Thai. Does tend to be more updated because I feel it's probably Thai people filling them in. People are asking when is Sage Northcutt fighting. I'm going to guess one on TNT 3, but it might get moved around. He is technically fighting today. Pardon?
Who are we talking about?
Sage Northcutt?
Yeah, he's fighting on one TNT. No, 4. So
he's one on TNT 4, so he's not fighting today.
He's fighting in 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Unique Horizon is saying Eddie Alvarez got disqualified for hitting the back of the head, but you're allowed to knee someone in the face while they're down. I thought the UFC had done rules. Actually, Unique Horizon, I actually really like these rules. I like knees to a ground opponent. I'm actually a little bit of a fan of soccer kicks, to tell you the truth. It's one of my favorite things. Eddie Blasian saying Rodtang fights every weekend. Not every weekend, pretty much every fortnight. That is pretty much the standard in Thailand. It is not unusual.
It's not unusual to be loved.
And Rodtang winning the fight with a fantastic result. But we do have to say that Daniel Williams has done nothing but proud. He's done himself proud. I saw his interview recently in the Australian media about what he was facing. But to tell you what, to come and do what he's done, it's been fantastic. And apparently, Mini T only found out he was on this card 4 weeks ago, according to Dan Meehan.
Yeah, Dan interviewed him.
Oh, perfect.
4 weeks ago. I think it might be. I'm sure it's less than that because it was only announced. Jacob Smith was on the card. I'm sure until more recently than that.
Mm-hmm.
They might have. They might have had him on standby, knowing that Jacob may have to pull out because of the travel restrictions.
Yeah.
I don't think they made it official until about 2 weeks ago.
Definitely. Aljamain Sterling's just tweeted out saying he enjoyed watching One Champions night, gutted for Alvarez to dominate from the first bubble, get a DQ loss. He loved DJ's pace and pressure. But loses from a flush knee to the chin while down from one FC, different rules. The kickboxing fight was a banger, and now we get Rodtang. A lot of people showing love. And Scott Coker retweeted Pitbull saying the next stop for MMA is cross promotion. And Scott Coker said Bellator's door is always open. He tweeted that out.
I think Chatry mentioned that the other day as well, didn't he? He's up for crossplay between himself and Bellator. I mean, obviously, it will never happen with UFC or not in the foreseeable future.
Yeah. A lot of people all over the internet saying they absolutely love the pacing of the event. A lot of people surprised that they're doing Muay Thai and MMA gloves. Well, that shows that some people have not been watching one on TNT. And here we go. Here are all the comments coming in. Alan Bones Jones is saying he saw Wanderlei Silva explain why his soccer kicks suck, but I don't know. Wanderlei always says they took away his greatest weapon when they didn't have soccer kicks in UFC. WMMAC now is saying the only problem he has with one on TNT is the lack of WMMA, and that is kind of true. But I guess they do have the Empower, their first ever all-female fight series coming after that, so that's going to be pretty big on May 28th. Apparently, according to Dan, he hadn't really trained for up to a year, and he only emailed one about a fight while he was in the pub having a drink. Very Australian of him to do. And then you got to love how Rodtang sets up that body kick with the inside low kick. And apparently, according to WMA, Chatri said that he's only interested in cross promotion with the UFC. I hope he changes his mind. And people asking, did Rodtang win? And that is the end of the live show. What a fantastic show. An absolute fantastic show to really kick off the One on TNT series, I believe. Definitely got people talking, got people excited. And hopefully they can continue on from here towards One on TNT 2 and One on TNT 3.
I'm going to have to log off. I think the post-fight media, virtual media press conference is about to get underway.
Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Can you tell Nick to pop back in so we can close this down? Because it will keep going without me on a blank screen, I think, if I quit.
How do we do that?
Can you drop him a text or a call?
I'll message him, yeah.
Yeah, if I can. And while we're here for the next 5 minutes, I will take any questions you guys have.
Enjoy your time with Chris, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. If anyone has a question about one championship in particular, let me know. But anything MMA related, I'll take you through these next 5 minutes. Ghost Phantom saying the bad part of the show is DJ losing and Eddie getting DQ'd. Can't hate DJ for losing. He probably deserved to lose. I mean, Moraes was controlling the fight up to that point. I thought he'd generally been winning, despite it being mostly feeling out. Yeah, I do feel very upset for Eddie, and I think he was very, very unlucky. Edson Barbosa versus Shane Bogaswinner versus Fug Nasty. Ooh, that would be absolutely tasty. And what is next for Moraes? That is the question, because the thing is, before really fighting DJ over here in One Championship, he has in a way actually been clearing out the division. You know, he's fought most of the people who are up there. Just to look at the rankings, you have Adriano Moraes as obviously the world champion. DJ was the #1 ranked. You've got Danny Kingag #2, Akhmetov #3, Yuya Wakamatsu at 4, and Reese McLaren at 5. And Adriano Moraes has 4. Danny Kingag has 4. Akhmetov. I guess you'd probably go for Wakamatsu, Reese McLaren, because you probably want the fresh. You probably want the fresh fight. And then I don't know where Demetrious Johnson really goes from here. I guess he's got a win over Wakamatsu, he's got a win over Kingad, so he might be looking at a Reese McLaren maybe, because obviously with DJ being such a big name in this organization and everything he's done outside and just how big he is, I think he's probably has to get at least 2 fights. But I think if he wins 2 or 3, being the Grand Prix champion, he could probably get another title shot, because I think he definitely wants to get it. Thank you very much. I don't really use Instagram for my MMA, but it's Chris EB, Chris Edwards Bailey, at Chris EB _ MMA. If you want to get me on Twitter, I've got 77 followers and I'm desperate to get to 100. That was my target for Christmas this year and I didn't quite get it. So my plan will be to, I started this MMA Twitter about June, July last year, around the time of the Tyrant Woodley, Gilbert Burns fighting the UFC. So it'd be nice to get to 100 within a year. People being, who really cares about one flyweight now that DJ lost? I care about, because I actually think that particularly in these lower weight classes that one has just as good fighters as the UFC and maybe a little bit better. This region is full of talent at strawweight, at flyweight. Bantamweight